welcome to the Fandom Fighters Podcast. What's going on, guys? We're back once again, episode 6 of the Fandom Fighters. Is that accurate? 6?
Yes. Episode 5 was the E3 Live Extravaganza and Knuckles, featuring Dante from Devil May Cry.
Sometimes I wonder why I do things with you, CWood.
You love me and you know it.
Let's just get the ball rolling before we start ranting. God knows we love that. What you been watching, listening, and playing to recently, CWood?
I haven't been playing a whole lot.
I understand that feel. I recently shared a picture on Facebook today. It was a picture of SpongeBob. I forgot what he was doing, but it said
oh yeah,
something along the lines of how that moment when you have to figure out what game you want to play next. And I shared it, and I was like, "That is if I get the time to contemplate."
When you're trying to decide what game to play next,
yeah.
And it's like a picture of SpongeBob at the diner with the coffee cup.
And I shared it, and I added the comment, "That is if I get the time to contemplate it to begin with."
Yeah.
Because I'm so busy with YouTube and work and going to Pittsburgh in 2 weeks to pick up my girlfriend. There's so much going on right now. So back to the topic at hand.
I haven't been playing a whole lot. I just picked up some new games though on Xbox.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with you for that.
Yeah, we sort of a little bit went game chasing, kind of.
Kind of.
We basically just went around to a bunch of different places, looking for gaming
Still
stuff.
upset about that PS2 Xbox Fight Stick that we found.
Yeah, we found a PlayStation 2 Xbox Street Fighter 15th anniversary Fight Stick
in the box.
Yeah,
and it's like, it looks so good. The box was garbage, but the Fight Stick itself looked amazing. And
$100.
They want $100 for it.
And that was not happening.
Not right now.
Yeah, and
still there around Christmas. I might buy it.
And the store owner, she didn't seem like the kind of person who'd be willing to barter.
I would have haggled with her if I had like 80, 70. No, I had maybe $20 I could have spent on it. So I'd be like, how about a fifth of that, bitch? Yeah. No, that's not happening.
Tell me about the Fight Stick you did get, though.
Oh, I did, yeah. We went to a Game Exchange. Is that right?
Yeah, Game Exchange in Springdale.
We went to Game Exchange in Springdale, and I saw a Fight Stick for the Wii. And originally I was like, oh, that's cool, whatever. I don't really need one. And then I realized that my Wii is hacked. Please don't be listening to this, FBI, whoever...
I don't think anyone's going to get mad at you for hacking your Wii.
Well, it's the ROMs and stuff that are on it, and the illegal activities that are going on my Wii.
How many people have actually gotten arrested for emulation? I don't think very many.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But, anywho. But I realized...
You probably own most of those games in some
form. That I have a shit ton of old fighting games on my Wii.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit, I could play all of my old fighting games
he's got Street Fighter 2,
on my new Wii.
Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2 Ultimate Championship Edition.
You don't know any other fighting games with Street Fighter or Mortal Kombat, do you?
Super Street Fighter 2
Because I also have Eternal Champions, Fatal Fury, the King of Fighters.
Yes.
Do you
have any MVC games on there?
No, because they're all PS1 and up. And there is a way to like you can make PS1 discs that'll work on the Wii, but I'm not that tech savvy. I usually like everything like Genesis, SNES, and NES. That's about all I keep on there. I am looking at adding Atari 6400 just for the game Ninja Golf, which I've seen gameplay for, but I've yet to play. It's like Ninja Gaiden meets like a Tiger Woods game for the NES.
Crazy.
It's so funny.
Yeah, but you got a Wii Fight Stick.
Yes.
It was made by Hori.
Yeah.
And it was marked as used, and like we saw it, it was behind the counter.
Yeah.
And he asked about it, and it had this really old faded sticker on there. Apparently, it had been on the shelf for like a year or two.
Like a year or two or something.
Yeah, and the price had gone. It was like $40 almost.
It was $49.99. It's $50.
Yeah, $50, and she double checked it in the system. It was like $35.
The system said it was like $30, and then she accidentally put the U sticker on it.
Yeah, she put the wrong sticker on it.
So it was like $19.99, and she looked at me and she's like, I technically could sell it to you for $20. You went, done!
And he bought it right there on the spot. It was a brand new Fight Stick.
My Fight Stick now.
Yeah, I got to watch him play Tatsunoko versus Capcom
for like the second time, so that was fun.
But you got Frank West unlocked.
I did unlock Frank.
And that's the only character you need unlocked.
Nothing like he is in Marvel 3, though, so I'll probably not play him. Just because he's too weird.
Yeah, but as for the games that I picked up Crash Twinsanity because I've been wanting to play that game for years.
Whoa!
Wow!
Sorry. Go on.
It's fine. I got Ultimate Spider-Man, which I've been searching all over the place for Xbox, because I have it on PS2. Mm. I've had it ever since I was a kid, but my PS2 is broken, and so I can't play it.
I got you.
And then I got Crazy Taxi 3 High Roller.
Oh yeah, it was 3.
Yeah. Because somebody owed me money, so they bought it for me.
And by owed him money, he means he worked for me and edited a video, and I paid him in video games.
Yeah. Speaking of videos, you can go to the Frank Wack channel right now and watch Let's Talk Ouran High School Host Club with Dripping with Good Looks cosplay.
It was a fun interview.
Yeah.
I had never interviewed more people ever.
Yeah. And that actually got me to watch Ouran High School Host Club.
Yeah, what'd you think about that, CWood? He kept sending me messages. I'm gonna cut him off. He kept sending me messages as he was watching the show. And he's like, I'm not sure I'm okay with this Twincest thing. Man, this is the gayest show I'd ever seen. And then he got to the end and he's like, okay, it was a good show.
I was sad when it was over. It's like, I want more of this.
Well,
Tamaki, no!
The manga continues it.
Yeah, but I don't like
manga, whatever.
Yeah.
There's always a rumor floating around that it's going to get a second season.
The day I finished watching it, I saw a post on Facebook, and it said Ouran High School Host Club Season 2 confirmed. I clicked on it, it was a troll. Link. Yeah. I'm like, fuck you.
There's always a rumor floating around.
But it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Tamaki-senpai, Kyoya-senpai.
I
still don't know which twin is which, but you know.
That's the magic of it.
Which one of them is so it's like which one of them is Natsu and which one of them is Ganta. That's why I gotta get down.
That's funny.
Because the voices, I can tell.
Todd Havercorn plays one of them?
Yeah, Todd Havercorn plays one of them. And then I don't know who plays I don't know the name of the other guy who plays one of them, but I eventually came to the realization, like, wait, that's Ganta from Dead Man Wonderland. I was like, what? But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
We're going to get to meet the voice of Kyoya pretty soon.
Yeah, J. Michael Tatum. Kyoya. I need to get like Ouran High School Host Club merch. I mean, like maybe the manga.
At GlitchCon and at Tokyo and Tulsa.
Yeah.
Coming in the next month or so, guys.
Yeah.
I'll be at both.
And I will be at GlitchCon. By the way, so the manga for that, does it cover the same plot as the anime? And then
it goes entirely through everything.
I need to figure out where that split happens, like where the anime ends, because I don't want to reread. Because I don't want to read stuff that I had
like 18. I had the original 18 issues. I think it's 18 or 19 or something like that. I sold it.
Issues or volumes?
Yeah, or actual books, whatever.
Well, because issues and volumes are different lengths,
right?
So, but I've been watching that. Yeah, it was really good.
Listening.
I've been listening to Alexander Hamilton. I've been listening to so much Hamilton, like all day, all night, all 24/7.
Yeah,
so good.
I've heard about it 24/7. So,
dude, you need to listen to it. It's good.
I'm sorry in advance, guys, if I sound like I'm like either being just like a prick who's like drunk or something, but I'm really tired. I just came off of 2 days off of work, and they decided I was going to work at 5 a.m. We're recording this at almost 4 p.m.
Yeah, he sent me a message at 4:30 in the morning, like I would be awake.
No. I sent him the link to the Game Grumps animated where they were playing Pokemon at it's 4 in the morning or something. Yeah. And Danny's like, I'm so tired. So I sent him that.
Yeah. Watching Ouran, listening to Hamilton, playing nothing. I don't have time for games.
Yeah, I sort of understand that. Except I don't, because I have been playing games.
What games have you been playing?
When I was supposed to be working on scripts for videos, I was in the middle of playing A Link to the Past again. Because I just bought it off of the Zelda E3 sale that's going on Nintendo right now.
Oh, that is happening.
Yeah.
Wait, that's Zelda-centric, or...?
Yeah. It's a Zelda and...
they had a general E3 one, and then I think that...
on the Wii U and 3DS, it's Zelda and Pokemon.
Okay. Yeah, I bought but they had a sale before that. They had some other games. I almost bought Paper Mario, but and I'm kind of regretting that I didn't now. But I did buy Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire.
Nice.
I actually have been playing that. There's a game I've been playing. I forgot about it. It's kind of a fun pinball game.
I've been playing Link to the Past again. For multiple reasons. Not only is it a great game, but there's a secret project coming soon, guys. And by soon, I mean it'll probably be next year. But we mentioned I played Tatsunoko vs. Capcom with my new fight stick. That's about it. I played the new Monster Hunter demo with my girlfriend last night and confirmed that I am bad at Monster Hunter. But that's about it. Watching a lot of Arrested Development lately. I started rewatching that show. It's so funny. The show is so good. I've been watching a lot of WWE. We'll talk about that later.
Cool.
Listening, I've been getting really hyped for next week when we go see the Descendants of Edric live. So I've been listening to a lot of them.
In concert.
It's at Fayetteville at... I forgot the name of the place. CWood, you want to do some research real quick?
Yo! Rockin' the Wicked.
And while I've been watching wrestling, I've also been listening to the Stone Cold podcast lately.
Hosted by Stone Cold Steve Austin.
It's true.
I love
what gave
that
that
joke.
away?
I love that joke in it's like the one thing in Smosh the movie that I like is Stone Cold Steve Austin opens an ice cream shop.
Okay.
You know Stone Cold Creamery? It's called Stone Cold Creamery. Because there's a ice cream shop called Cold Stone. So Stone Cold, Cold Stone. And he doesn't get and like someone's like, isn't there like an ice cream shop with that name already? And he's like, no, what are you talking about? But yeah.
That's funny.
By the way, you can see the Descendants of Erdrick live in concert at Riley's on Dixon Street in Fayetteville, Arkansas at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time.
It's a free concert. Just go see them. They're amazing. I want to play their music. I will find a way to add that to the video.
Woo!
But yeah, that's really it. My life is boring, guys. I do a lot of YouTube.
So this week on Here Comes a New Challenger, we're talking about a long-running, beloved series.
This is one of my favorite video game franchises. We share a birth year. Yay. Technically.
1991?
1991. The video games for Sonic the Hedgehog share a birth year with me.
Yeah.
Sonic himself does not. He showed up in a game called Rad Racer.
Rad Racer!
As a air freshener on the car. Yeah.
Huh. Wait, so Sonic was on an NES game?
No.
Oh,
it was in the Sega port, I think, or in the arcade or something like that. But
Sonic showed up.
There was a graphic of Sonic, basically. But yeah, the Sonic games and me share a birth year, and it's probably part of the reason why I love him so much. But I grew up on Sega as a kid, so Sonic was a big part of my life from the get-go. I remember playing video games as long as I have lived. So
same.
And so, Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Spinball. I played all those games.
Yeah. As a kid, I grew up with my first console ever was the Super Nintendo, so I started off really good with games like Donkey Kong Country, Legend of Zelda, Tetris, and Dr. Mario. Those were like the big games of my some of the big games of my childhood.
Chrono, Earthbound.
I didn't have those though. But when I was born, that the 16-bit era of gaming was actually on its way out.
Yeah. That's 94, 95?
Yeah, I was born in 95. So it was on its way out. And the 3D generation, 64-bit, 32-bit generation of gaming was coming in. So Nintendo 64, PlayStation. I grew up with a Nintendo 64. And at that point in time, Sega wasn't really all that big anymore. Yeah. So I didn't really know who Sonic was growing up for a little bit.
I see.
We talked about going to Game Exchange earlier. The Game Exchange we went to, I remember going to as a kid, and they had a Dreamcast set up with a demoing Sonic Adventure on the Dreamcast. And I remember looking up at the screen, tiny little me, and just wondering what is that?
Tiny CWood.
Tiny CWood looks up. Tiny chubby CWood looks. I wasn't fat as a kid, but But I remember looking up at the screen and just seeing like this blue animal, and standing on 2 legs fighting some water creature, and I had no idea what it was. And
chaos.
Yeah, but I thought it was so weird. My first Sonic game, though, was actually Sonic Advance on the Game Boy Advance. I got that. That was one of my first Game Boy Advance games as well, and it was my first Sonic game, and it was a lot of fun to play.
So you got in a good game.
Yeah, I actually got in because the Sonic Advance games are 2D platformers, which I feel is what Sonic does best.
That is what Sonic does best.
Yeah. And they're fast paced.
Yeah.
So it was a lot of fun, and I had a lot of fun. Yeah, I definitely had a lot of fun playing Sonic Advance. I remember a bunch of kids back in the day actually had that game, and so we all we would all share the cheat codes and stuff to get Sonic and Tails playing at the same time, which I thought was insane. I was like, what? That's so cool.
Back in my day, in 1992, that was already a thing.
Yeah, but when I was growing up, we didn't have Genesis. In fact, if you would ask little me, what do you know what a Sega Genesis is? I'd be like, what is a Sega? What is a Genesis? I would have had no idea. So back then, it was
perks
really cool.
of blast processing.
Yeah,
it's a legit thing. Hey, don't knock it.
It actually is a legit thing. It's something that the Game Boy Advance didn't have.
That's true.
And the way you know that is because they tried porting the original Sonic the Hedgehog to the Game Boy Advance, and it runs so slow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Sonic Advance runs no problem. The original Sonic, so slow.
That's
and the
awesome.
reason was actually because they tried using the engine from Sonic Advance to port over.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, and did not mesh.
I got you.
No, it's gross.
It sounds bad.
Yeah. Now, my second Sonic game, everything went downhill. So growing up,
you started in the very beginning of the weird period. We're still in the weird period of Sonic.
In the early 2000s, that weird period of Sonic where the handheld games were mostly good and the console games were mostly bad.
Mm-hmm.
Growing up, I did not have a GameCube or an Xbox. I had a PlayStation 2.
Right.
The first Sonic game on PlayStation 2, Sonic Heroes.
Yeah.
And the PlayStation 2 version of that game is the worst version. It is bugged to hell and back.
That's my girlfriend's first Sonic game too. She played it on the GameCube, I think.
Well, the GameCube's actually the best version.
Well,
it runs the best.
It doesn't matter. It's still a shitty Sonic game.
Yeah.
It's still bad.
But yeah, the PS2 version was by far the worst version, at least as far as the console. There's some speculation. I've heard the PC version is actually the worst one because it comes from an earlier build, so some of the hit detection's off.
But if you're a speedrunner, the PS2 version is actually the best.
Yeah, because then you can use the glitches to get ahead.
Yes, sir. And they are funny as hell.
Yeah, but little me, trying so hard to play this glitched up piece of crap. I think the farthest I got was Rail Canyon, and that was with Team Rose. I think the farthest I got
was Big the Cat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Froggy! We gotta find Froggy! And then after that, I took a long hiatus from console Sonic games. I remember reading Nintendo Power and seeing Shadow the Hedgehog. And don't judge me, I thought it was cool.
the video game Shadow the Hedgehog.
Video game.
Man, I remember I played that game, and that was I guess Shadow is probably the reason I'm so... Well, the beginning of me being critical about video games, because I remember 14 or 15 playing Shadow the Hedgehog. I probably wasn't that old. I was probably 12, 13, whatever. But I remember, I was really bad at it, because it's bad 3D Sonic. I kept falling in holes. And every time I fall in a hole, he has one death scream. And he kept shouting the word damn. And I'm 12 years old, and I'm like, this game's rated E10. Or is it T? I think it's T.
Rated E10 plus.
Wow. E10.
Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald?
He throws the word damn out a lot.
The game came out, Shadow the Hedgehog actually came out in 2005.
So I was 14.
I would have been 10. And
you would have been 10?
We'll get to that. But
Frank pun counter.
But I would have been 10, so I remember reading about it in Nintendo Power and thinking it was so cool, but never got it.
God, it was such a bad game.
Yeah, but when you're 10 years old, I mean, do you
that
really
was my
know?
brother's first Sonic game.
Oh.
My younger brother's first Sonic game.
How do you feel about that?
He loves the game. No, and we'll go ahead and get into this real quick. I have a theory about Sonic games, and it's not always true. There's a lot of people that this doesn't apply to, but more often than not, somebody's first Sonic game is actually their favorite. Like, no matter what. Mine was Sonic 2. Sonic Advanced?
Yeah. Sonic Advance is actually not my favorite Sonic game.
Yeah.
It's a good Sonic game. It's a really good and really solid Sonic game, and I recommend it to anyone. I think, personally, it's a really good starting point, even. Obviously, the original Genesis ones are good, but Sonic Advance is still a really good place to start. I'm happy that's where I started. Otherwise, like if I had started with Sonic Heroes, I don't know if I would have continued with the series, honestly.
I got you.
And
my girlfriend's favorite game, by the way, is Sonic Heroes.
Really? Huh. That's interesting.
She will defend that game to death.
I mean, I really like the aesthetic choices that they went with.
Sure.
In a lot of the levels in that game.
The gameplay is so clunky.
Well, like the first level, like it looks like 2D Sonic.
Yeah.
And like the third level, like the casino levels, look really bright and neon, colorful, and I like that kind of aesthetic.
I'm not saying it doesn't look good; it just plays like shit.
Yeah, and the music is, as always, good. I think Seaside Hill is really good. I love it. But
couldn't name another track in that whole game though.
Sonic Heroes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I forgot about the Crush 40 song. This is, I think, my least favorite Crush 40 song actually, but
it's finding your place. But yeah, I actually So Sonic Heroes was my second. My third one though was Sonic Advance 2.
Yes.
I can't remember. Something happened to my copy of Sonic Advance. I don't remember what.
Right.
But I didn't have it anymore. And one day my brother came back from school. Mm-hmm. And they had some sort of event thing where, I don't know if your school ever did this, but his middle school, what they did was if you did different things, you got this, basically like, it's sort of like Monopoly money. And then at the end of the semester, there's a sort of like student fair thing where you would, make like arts and crafts or something and sell them for the fake money. And then you could buy things. One person didn't make anything. He just brought all his Game Boy Advance games and was selling them. So my brother bought Sonic Advance 2, and he didn't care about Sonic the Hedgehog. But I love Sonic because I watched the cartoon and everything, Sonic X, which we'll get to. So he bought me Sonic Advance 2, and I played the crap out of that game. Mm-hmm. I love that's probably my favorite out of the Advance series. It introduced Cream the Rabbit, which was really good, really interesting.
Was it 2 or 3 that had Amy in it?
Both of them.
Okay.
Actually, all the Sonic Advance games had Amy.
Okay, then I don't know which one I played. I played one of them.
You had to unlock Amy in the first game.
She was available at the get-go in the one I played.
Yeah. I think that's Sonic. That's either Sonic 2 or Sonic 3. But yeah, I played that. I liked it a lot. But after that one, I didn't get another Sonic game till the Wii.
Is that Unleashed or Colors? Or Sonic in the Black Knight? Or
you think I played good games back then? Nah, man. Sonic and the Secret Rings.
I forgot about the Secret. I knew there was another one. I just couldn't name it. Also known as Sonic's Magic Carpet Ride.
That game is so bad, and I tried playing it so much as a kid, and I just could not. There's a video somewhere on the internet of me ranting about like a little, like, almost to puberty me complaining about the game and how bad it is.
I'll try to find that.
Don't you dare!
Yeah, Wacko Vision time.
But. Yeah, I remember getting that, and also Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, which was a decent minigame collection. Yeah.
So, fun.
Where were you Sonic-wise? Like, were you playing games at this time?
Yeah, off and on. I didn't play Sonic 06 when it first came out. I have gone back and played it because I thought about speedrunning it at one point in time. I did learn to glitch through the door, which is one of the hardest tricks.
Oh, with Silver?
No, with Sonic.
Oh.
Yeah, there's it's like the third or fourth level.
Yeah, I know.
You can skip like 6 levels if you jump through a door.
I was thinking about like using the crate to glitch through the door during the ball puzzle.
Oh yeah, those are so awesome.
That level.
Those are so fun.
I haven't played Sonic 06, and that one level is pretty much the main reason why.
The game is so glitchy though; it's so fun. Like if you play Sonic 06 without the expectations of it being a Sonic game, and going into it like knowing full well that you're just going to break it and have fun, the new game is actually pretty fun.
I think the gem system with Sonic and how that's just broken, could be actually a lot of fun to mess around with.
I didn't play mini Sonic. I was too old for Sonic, quote unquote, at the time. I was in that stage of gaming where I thought, I'm too old for that. Sonic's a kid's game.
I went through that with Pokemon. I understand.
And the last Sonic game I played before Generations was Sonic Unleashed. And I played the first level and really, really liked it. The daytime... Yeah. I forgot the name of the stage. But after like two levels of the Werehog and I was done. Yeah. I was like, this game is so slow. I can't do it. But Generations got me back into it. God, Generations is so good. Yeah.
That actually is my favorite Sonic game. Sonic Generations. I got it for Christmas the year it came out.
Okay, so Sonic Generations is a great game. Yeah. I'll give you that. It
takes classic 2D Sonic and mixes it with that Sonic Unleashed style 3D... Right. Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Color style 3D Sonic game.
But I think that would be something I would complain about the game, actually, is it's not a new Sonic game as much as it is like a recollection of good Sonic moments.
Yeah, like a greatest hits album for Sonic.
With a final boss that's different. Yeah.
A final boss that's a piece of shit. Yeah. I hate the final boss in that game.
It's not even hard.
It's just annoying.
Yeah, okay, I'll give you that.
And your Sonic's friends are yelling at you the whole damn time. Avoid those arrows! Collect the rings! Shit. Hit him in his weak spot to do massive damage. Did you ever play the 3DS version of Sonic Generations?
I've not. I thought about buying it at one point in time.
For how much?
I don't know. I think it was like $15 at the time.
15, I would say, would be an alright price for it.
Is it like...
It's all 2D.
Okay.
Yeah, so Sonic...
I would still enjoy that.
Classic Sonic is plays like Classic Sonic. And then modern Sonic is Sonic Rush.
Oh, okay. Which I'm not really a fan of, but...
And it's got... Okay, so it's got the same block of levels. So it's like the first block is Genesis. The second block is sort of Dreamcast era. And the third block is Modern. And Modern actually... so all the levels are completely different level choices, except for the first level, it's still Green Hill. So like the second level, you get Casino Night. Third level was like Mushroom Hill.
Now I really want it.
Yeah, I don't remember what was in the Dreamcast era levels.
I don't get to play City Escape.
You don't get to sit... No.
I don't get to roll around at the speed of sound. I've got places to go. I gotta follow my rainbow, CWood.
God damn it! It's gonna keep doing... No, but like...
Can't stick around, gotta keep moving. I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I'm actually gonna look up what the level list is, because I can't remember the name of them.
God, I love that song. That's probably my favorite Sonic song.
It is. And Sonic's got great music in it. Real quick. Okay, so... Alright, so... Sonic Generations on 3DS has... for Sonic Adventure, it has Emerald Coast. Okay. Which is an alright level. Yeah, that's not bad. It has Radical Highway. It's very... in the game. It's not very fun, honestly. And then for the modern level, it has Water Palace from Sonic Rush. Huh. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's actually really cool.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, and I would have liked it if they had more levels from the handheld games. Like, instead of the Dreamcast era, maybe have, like, Sonic Adventure. So, like, Neo Green Hill Zone or something. Right. I mean, Sonic Advance, not Sonic Adventure. They also had Tropical Resort from Sonic Colors DS. Cool. Yeah. And then the bosses were Metal Sonic, Shadow the Hedgehog, and Silver, which were the same. But then they also had Big Arms from Sonic the Hedgehog 3. Nice. The Bile Lizard from Sonic Adventure 2, which is a pain in the ass to fight. Yeah. Actually, Big Arms is even worse. And then Egg Emperor from Sonic Heroes.
Nice. Yeah. The Egg Emperor.
Egg Emperor, yeah. God.
So, what is your favorite non-Sonic Generations 3D Sonic game?
I haven't played too many of the 3D ones, actually. Can I say Sonic Boom? No. If you want to be wrong, yeah. No, I would not torture myself for that. Sonic Colors, maybe, because it's very similar, but I feel like it has too much of a focus on 2D.
Yeah.
And then it just feels like a lot of the levels just kind of go on for too long. You go to, any one of the areas, and I feel like if they had just cut out, 2 to 3 levels from each area, it would have been the perfect pace.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I go and I play it, and I get into an area, and I'm going through the levels, and it just feels like I'm doing the same thing over and over again.
I can see that.
But it actually has some of my favorite music in the Sonic game. The water level, I think it's the third act of the water level is really, really good. It's one of my favorite pieces from Sonic, actually.
I got you.
And the opening song is really good, too.
I think, between either Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Unleashed, actually. Because if you can get through the Werehog stages, the daytime stages are beautiful and amazing.
Yeah.
They're all so good. It's why couldn't I just have a full game of the daytime stages?
So Xbox 360 or Wii version of Sonic Unleashed?
360.
Okay. Because they actually are different games. They have completely different levels. I liked Sonic Adventure 2. But my problem with saying with whether or not I can say it's my favorite is that I actually never beat the game.
I got you.
I have probably less than 2 hours logged into it on Steam.
I know everybody's least favorite thing about Sonic Adventure is the Big the Cat stages. Yeah. I actually find them hysterical. So I'm a big fan of Big the Cat. I love Big. And I'm so glad that now he's voiced by Kyla Bear.
He used to be voiced by Duke Nukem.
Yeah. It's just so funny.
You went from Duke Nukem to Gohan. You made that jump somehow.
Come here, Froggy. I'm coming. I love you.
Oh my gosh.
So much Big the Cat. I don't remember where. Oh, it was during a Game Grumps playthrough where the completionist said the Big the Cat was probably his least favorite. And so when I went to interview him, I almost asked him a question about Big the Cat. Just to get his reaction, and I didn't. I was like, nah, I should probably keep it professional.
I have Sonic Adventure DX on my computer.
Dicks!
Sonic Adventure DX! I have about 2 hours logged in that, and I've never played as Big the Cat. And
it's Big the Cat's fishing adventure.
Yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Have you watched the Game Grumps play it?
No, I haven't.
It's just as frustrating as Aaron makes it sound. I'll show you the Game Grumps animated after we're done recording.
I can't wait to see that.
It's so funny. It's the best part of their playthrough, that whole game.
But yeah.
So Sonic also has a lot of cartoons.
Exactly, yeah. That's actually how a lot of people got into Sonic. Yeah. Since you're older than me and you've experienced the older cartoons, how about you start?
So, I think the first one was called The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and I don't really remember it much, because it was 93, 94 when it aired, and I was 2. I remember as a kid how much I really loved Sonic Underground. Which
Sonic Underground.
I just introduced CWood to, and how awful that show
I've seen it.
Have you seen it?
I've seen the first episode.
Oh, it's so bad.
I know.
It's probably the worst Sonic TV show.
I was at a really low point in my life.
Yeah. There was a third one that I don't remember the name of, and then there was Sonic X, which is the anime. Okay,
so if I'm to understand correctly, the way it was with the cartoons was there was the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, and then around the same time they also had it's technically just called Sonic the Hedgehog, but some people call it Sat AM because it aired on Saturday mornings.
I got you.
And that was the darker, more kind of grittier.
Is it the one where I forgot what the actual word was, but there's a word that Dr. Robotnik says in that series where somebody modded it and it makes it sound like it says penis.
Oh no, that's Adventures of Sonic.
Penis.
There's a video.
Penis.
There's this Let's Play group of follow called Brain Scratch Comms, and they sometimes when they're playing Sonic games, they'll in the place of springs, they'll put that sound effect in. So Sonic like hits the springs like penis, penis. And Some Call Me Johnny is part of Brain Scratch Comms. So in his review of Sonic Generations, there's a scene where he hits springs and he replaces the noise. So penis, penis. And it's hilarious.
That's great.
Oh my god! But no. Sad AM. It was like this darker, more grittier one.
It used to be my text ringtone. My mom made me change it.
And then after that, they had Sonic Underground.
Oh yeah.
And then a few years after that, there was the anime Sonic X, which was dubbed by 4Kids.
It has a totally different name in Japanese.
Yeah. But one that we didn't mention...
And a way better intro. But
one that we didn't mention was there was actually a Sonic the Hedgehog OVA. Oh,
really?
Yeah, anime movie. And it was interesting, to say the least.
I haven't...
It's from the 90s, so it's got a 90s dub.
Which means it's not good.
It's actually kind of funny to watch how bad it is. You've got like Sonic like flipping off Dr. Robotnik, or is it Tails? I can't remember. One of them does it. Knuckles has a cowboy hat for some stupid ass reason.
Because he's from Australia.
Yeah. Sonic has to save the president's daughter, who's a cat girl for some reason.
Okay.
Metal Sonic is in it.
Okay.
And that's where the classic line, "You may know everything I'm going to do. That's not going to help because I know everything you're going to do. Strange, isn't it?" That's where that comes from, and it's not good. It's not good, but it's funny to watch. And Brain Scratch Comms did a commentary of the movie, and I watched that, and that's awesome.
That's funny.
And then also there's one more we didn't mention. It's Sonic Boom. Most people know about the bad video game, but there's actually fairly decent cartoon.
I didn't forget it. I just
we just haven't got
way later down the line. Yeah.
Which Sonic cartoon is your favorite?
Sonic X, easily.
I would like to say that Sonic X was the first Sonic cartoon I watched, but way back in the day on Disney Channel, Toon Disney, super early in the morning. We're talking 5 or 6 in the morning.
Getting up for school.
Well, it was always on weekends. I think. Okay. They would show reruns of adventures of the Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. I remember watching that as a kid.
Yeah.
That might be my first introduction to Sonic.
Nice.
That's a horrible way to get introduced, but because that's not a good cartoon. It goes for slapstick, and it's stupid. It's really stupid.
But I mean, when you're 5 or 6,
yeah,
you play the Sonic games, and you get frustrated, and you watch Sonic on TV. It's totally different. It's funny as a kid.
Yeah.
You look back at it now, and you're like, "What? These guys were high."
Yeah. It's sort of it's what I like to call the Code Lyoko factor, where as a kid you thought it was the most amazing thing in the world, but when you look back on it as an adult, you realize, oh, this was kind of bad.
He is firing the shots right now, guys.
Don't hate me, but yeah, I looked back at Code Lyoko and I don't think it holds up. But Sonic X, we watched a few episodes a few weeks back.
We did watch a few episodes a few weeks back.
Yeah, he convinced me to watch some of it, and it's not the worst thing in the world.
I was... that's one of the things that got me back into anime, because there are multiple times where I watch anime and then I'd stop, then I watch anime and I'd stop. Sonic X, Shaman King, the 4Kids era, Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day.
I remember watching it when it was first airing. It started airing in 2003.
So it was 12.
And I would have been about 8. So, perfect timing for me.
Yeah.
Growing up.
I would say decent timing for me. I mean, whatever.
Well, it's you watch... I would watch Sonic X on TV, and I'd play the Sonic games on my Game Boy.
I got you.
So it was a lot of fun there. And actually, the cool thing about it was, while it did have its own kind of story at the beginning, I think Season 1 or Season 2 started off with... somewhere in there. They actually no, it's Season 1 that did this, I think. They actually told the story from Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2.
Nice.
So you got Chaos, you got Shadow, you got Gerald Robotnik, the cannon that can destroy the world. I think there's a point in the games where like Amy's talking to Shadow, and it gives him his, and it causes his PTSD to take effect, and he remembers Maria's final words of "Don't be a dick."
Give him the Will Wheaton.
Essentially, like we're like Maria is all like, "Don't kill people, don't be mean," and
Hey, Shadow. Stuff. Stop being a dick.
Yeah, pretty much. In the games, it's Amy who triggers them. It's actually the OC character, Chris, who does it in this. Who is by far the worst part of the show. I will never understand why people who make shows who make like cartoons for kids, feel the need to throw in a kid character just so we have someone to relate to. Like, we don't necessarily need the kid character in there. We don't need that.
But I mean, again, looking back as a kid, you related to him almost.
I never related to Chris, honestly.
I mean...
Super rich billionaire child? No.
Okay,
no.
Sure.
No, no.
But I would want to help Sonic just like Chris did.
I didn't have, stereotypical, Hispanic maid, and I didn't have a grandfather who was essentially Doc Brown. Like, come on!
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
No,
there.
and he's annoying and not really that great. Even as a kid, I didn't really care about him. Because I want to watch Sonic. I want to watch Knuckles. I want to watch Shadow.
I can see that.
Hell, I was even fine with Dr. Robotnik's bumbling robots, who are nowhere in the games. So whatever.
I think they're in Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine as like villains that you have to fight.
Scratch and Grounder from Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog are in that, but the ones from Sonic X aren't.
Oh, okay.
And that's what I'm still talking about. But Chris was just not a good character, at all. Didn't care for him.
Whatever.
Hell, Froggy was a better character.
Froggy.
I
love Big the Cat.
Can you believe that Sonic X aired from 2003 to 2012?
Wow. In Japan?
No, in America.
Really?
It was on TV for almost a decade.
That's awesome.
Just showing continuous reruns on Saturday mornings.
I remember having a few cartridges of episodes on my Game Boy Advance.
Game Boy Advance video. Oh my gosh. I remember that
watched the hell out of the first episode.
Dude, no, I was the same way, because I
watched a lot of Pokemon too.
I had Pokemon. It was like the end of like the Johto League. Okay. Like the episodes where like there's a guy from Hoenn, so there's like Blaziken and Kecleon.
Okay.
I watched the crap out of those episodes. It's like the episodes where like Ash and Gary finally reconcile and like basically decide we don't hate each other anymore. Yeah. And then Gary goes off to Sinnoh and we don't see him for 5 years. He shows up again in like the Sinnoh like episodes and is like, yeah, I'm a professor or researcher or something now. I'm like, what? Okay, 10-year-old Gary is a researcher.
10-year-old Gary is a researcher. 10-year-old Gary, he never ages. He found the fountain of youth, guys.
Nobody ages in that show.
That's true. You're right. It's because Ash is in a coma. We're way off topic.
Get your creepypasta shit out of here. No, but Game Boy Advance Video was awesome, except for Shrek, except for the movies. They put Shrek, Shrek 2, and Shark Tales on Game Boy Advance Video.
Oh my god,
you can pretty much count the frames. I had Shrek 2. You can pretty much count the frames. It's so bad.
I bet.
But yeah, Sonic, the cartoons were really interesting. Sonic Boom, I remember that when I remember watching a few episodes when that started to air.
Yeah. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. The Shadow episode is fucking
way
hysterical.
better than the game.
Dude, the Shadow episode, though, is fucking hysterical. You need to seek it out. It is hilarious.
All I remember is the meme that goes around, where Sonic is like, was it like Danger or something is my middle name?
Yeah.
Knuckles is like, I thought your middle name was The. Yeah. Genius writing. I love it. Print that.
Oh my god.
But on top of all the comics or cartoons and stuff, there's actually also a comic series.
Yeah, a long-running comic series.
A Guinness Book of World Records holding a comic book series.
Yeah. Did you ever read any of the comics growing up?
I had a few of them, yeah.
Yeah.
My dad was a huge comic geek, so he would go to the store and buy them, and then if I went with him, I would notice, Sonic, Daddy! And, yeah, I got Sonic comics.
I will forever and always hate my brother because of the Sonic comics. So growing up, I only had a few issues of the Sonic comic. Because my mom would take me with her when she goes grocery shopping, and the grocery store we would go to had a comic book section.
Uh-huh.
And there was a point in time when she would actually buy me the Sonic comics. But I only ever got a very small amount of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like the storyline at the time was like Sonic was like lost in space or something. I remember one of them. He finds like these what looks like the Chaos Emeralds, but they're all red, and he tries using them, and it splits off Supersonic from him. So it's Sonic versus Supersonic.
That doesn't sound like a one-sided fist fight.
It's an evil Supersonic. I don't remember how that worked out, but it was weird. And then they would also have like these little segments at the end that I think were like reprints of like the really old ones from like the 90s.
Sure.
So it was like Sonic and Knuckles, and I was like, what is this? This looks completely different. But I remember having a few issues, but I hate my brother because my dad knew a guy who was basically the guy who distributed the Archie comics in the area.
Oh, yeah?
At the time. My dad knew him. And my brother at the time, like I was still really young. I was probably like 3 or 4 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother would get the Sonic comics. And I wouldn't. My brother threw them all away.
Ugh.
So I never got to read them. And it was horrible. I hated it.
Oh, you just gotta facepalm and things like that.
Yeah.
You're just like, why?
And it was really disappointing for me as a kid, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah, I guess.
I didn't ever pick up another Sonic comic after my childhood, really. After those few in my childhood.
The PTSD?
Well, no. It's just, I didn't, because the grocery store, stopped selling comic books.
Oh, I see.
Pretty much the only thing they would have is like those Archie Digest things that are on the checkout lanes.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was pretty much it. So at that point, it's like all I would ever get from the grocery store was like Nintendo Power.
I got you.
I did pick up a few Sonic trades a while back. I got Sonic the Hedgehog Mega Man Worlds Collide crossover. Yeah. Because Archie Comics also does a Mega Man comic, so they
we've talked about on this. Yeah. Go watch that video.
Yeah, go watch the second episode of Fandom Fighters Podcast to hear what we think about Mega Man.
Or you could just watch the segment on my channel. Yeah. You know, whatever.
No, go listen to the whole episode on my channel. But I picked up the first volume then, and it was a good read. I enjoyed it. I need to get the other volumes. And then I also got Sonic Genesis, which is this plot line where Sonic basically gets thrown back in time.
Okay.
Actually, no, it's sort of like Dr. Robotnik reboots the universe almost. Yeah, and so it's Sonic going through the levels from the original Genesis games, nice. With the cast essentially from Sonic Sat AM because they're in the comics. So it's like Sonic and like Sally and like the French animal dude, and like the walrus guy, and they're like they're going through like Marble Zone and like Green Hill and stuff. Mm-hmm. Trying to fight off Dr. Robotnik or Eggman or whatever you call him.
Right.
And it was a good read. It was really weird though because at the end it's like Sally gets turned into a robot and it's like evil and shit because they get the universe back to the way it's supposed to be, and then that happens. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? Where do I go on from here? I don't know. But yeah. The Sonic comics were an interesting read, and I'd recommend checking them out. In fact, if you want, you can go to Humble Bundle right now.
We're not getting paid for this, guys.
We're not getting paid for this, but they have a Humble Comics Bundle for Sonic the Hedgehog right now, and they've got a Humble Bundle for Sonic games right now. It's a good value. For $10, you can get just about every Sonic game ever made, and then for like $15, you can get a shit ton of Sonic comics, including Sonic Boom comics, which I hear are all right.
Yeah, Sonic, guys.
Sonic, he can really move.
Sonic Boom, Sonic Boom,
yeah.
Sonic Boom.
So what's your least favorite Sonic game that you've played, other than 06, because that's the obvious one?
I don't know if 06 would actually be my least favorite, because I enjoy breaking it.
Yeah.
Least favorite? Man, that's tough. Adventure 2, probably?
Really? Adventure 2 is your least favorite?
I have a thing with Shadow, man. I don't don't like Shadow.
Why not? Like, what's your issue with... What is your issue with Shadow?
Like, I thought it was lame that they, like, practically copy and pasted Sonic the Hedgehog, gave him a new color scheme. I don't know.
I don't know, I've always had a thing for, like, the dark evil twin character. I don't know, I think Shadow is different enough from Sonic, though.
Yeah.
That, like, he's not just Sonic, but evil. You know, he is his own
Are we counting Sonic Boom in this?
Yeah, you can say Sonic Boom.
Okay, so Boom would...
If you've played it.
But yeah, I have. Boom would beat out Sonic Adventure 2 then.
That game is so broken, though.
It is so bad.
It's just so bad. But my least favorite, I would have to say, would probably be Sonic and the Secret Rings. That control scheme just is not...
Sonic's Magic Carpet Ride Adventure.
It's not intuitive, and it's not good for fast-paced Sonic gameplay.
Yeah.
Even though, in some cases, you don't go fast at all in that game.
I think, just to kind of weirdly throw it back, Sonic Lost World is actually... I think it's really good, actually.
I haven't played it.
A lot of people don't like it.
But you can get it right now for $10 on Humble Bundle. Along with an actually good game, Sonic Generations. But yeah. Okay. I enjoy Sonic games, and he was down for a while there. Then he came back, and
for a year.
Sonic Lost World and Sonic.
Listen, Lost World I don't think is bad at all.
Messed it up. There's supposed to be there's supposed to be 2 new games coming out this year. There's Sonic Boom Fire and Ice for the 3DS, which is a 2D platformer.
Yeah.
It's made by the people who made the 3DS Sonic Boom.
Which
game.
I heard wasn't bad. Shattered Dimensions.
I heard it was okay. I heard the biggest complaint I heard was too much backtracking.
I can see that.
And then there's supposedly a 25th anniversary game that they're announcing in July.
So next month.
Yeah.
God, please, we need something like Sonic Generations.
Yeah, I was about to ask, what do you want from
anything but Sonic Generations 2.
Really?
I do not want a Sonic Generations 2. It was a good thing. It was a good move. Bring back the nostalgia. Now give me something good. Yeah.
I would definitely like to see something, not necessarily in the vein of Sonic Generations, but something that plays like it.
Sure. Yeah, it has
like the modern Sonic. Because...
I would even be okay if it was like modern and classic Sonic doing something, as long as it wasn't Generations 2.
Yeah. One thing though, I want there to be a decent story, because
Generations HD. Oh, fuck.
It was already HD.
Well, I mean, they would up-res
remaster
it and remaster it and put new freaking levels on
Sonic Generations HD 1.5.
Yeah,
Final Chapter Prologue Remix and Knuckles.
Goddamn Kingdom Hearts and Knuckles. I see what you did there.
But you have to buy the expansion for the and Knuckles.
It's like a cartridge.
The next is using cartridges, guys. No, but honestly though, I would like to see a much improved story, because Sonic Generations, for all the good things it did, let's be honest, the story was kind of trash.
It was decent enough.
There wasn't much of one though.
I think
freaking Tails comes out of goddamn nowhere. Classic Tails shows up.
Yeah.
Out of goddamn nowhere.
See, I don't know. Here's the thing where it kind of differs with me. All the old school games especially. If they were to bring back Mega Man and not give me a story, I wouldn't care. Yeah. If they were to bring Mario back and give another stupid, same old story, Princess Peach was kidnapped or whatever, I wouldn't care. If they don't give me a story with Sonic, as long as it plays good, I don't give a shit.
But you can't tell me, like, Mario Galaxy isn't better for having... that huge, for having its thematic elements.
It's one of the main reasons Sunshine gets the acclaim it does.
Yeah, because it goes that extra mile, and I would like to see that
out of Nintendo polish.
Yeah. I would like to see that sort of Nintendo polish in a Sonic game, because honestly, it feels like they rush them out a lot of the time, and I would like them to just, ironically, slow down for once and take their time to make a good game. Sure. Because that's what happened with Sonic 06. They rushed the hell out of it.
There was a lot more than that.
They rushed that game. You cannot tell me that they did.
They also split their team in half to make 2 games.
Yeah, but still, it's really bad. And I would say that the primary reason is because they rushed it. Sonic Boom was the same thing. Yeah, Sonic Boom was the same exact thing.
They had the developers went on went on record and said they had like 6 months or something like that to develop the whole damn game.
I don't think it was 6 months. It had to be less than that. But there was a big crunch.
Yeah, it was a huge crunch. It's like, well, no wonder the game's shit.
Yeah, because
you couldn't focus on polish. You had to focus on finishing.
Yeah, well, and part of the issue was they were making Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric, and they were making it with the CryEngine, which is used for like Battlefield and stuff like that. Here's the issue, though.
That sounds bad.
Sega made their deal with Nintendo of giving them 3 exclusive Sonic games for the Wii U. So we got Sonic Lost World, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, whatever year edition, and Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. Here's the issue.
Rio's coming out soon.
Yeah. Here's the issue, though. That game was actually looking really good.
Yeah.
But the CryEngine doesn't work on the Wii.
Boom had a lot of potential.
Yeah, Boom had a lot of potential, but the engine didn't even work on the system. So they had to get with Crytek, who makes the engine. And they had to work with the people who make the fucking engine to even get it to work on the system.
That's awesome.
And then they had like key members of the staff leave in the middle, towards the end of development even, and they had like all these different issues that compile on it. Plus, they have to get it in. They have to get it out in time to coincide with the new cartoon, the 3DS game, the comics.
I'm sure the TV side of like the industry was really bogging down on that too.
Yeah. And the action figures and toys and all that, and they were rushed. They honestly were.
It's a sad story.
Yeah. But Sonic, I hope that, Sonic Boom, Sonic Lost World were just a one-time.
Maybe we'll get Sonic Adventure 3?
No, I don't. At this point in time, I would like something story-wise on the scale of an adventure game, but I don't think we're ever going to get a game that's properly called Sonic Adventure 3.
I mean, but if you think about it, you could sell Sonic Adventure 3 and then bring back the other 2 games. You could bring back the DX versions of them, or Sonic Adventure DX and then Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
Yeah.
And HD them to even sell the game. You could spend an extra year, you could bring out the HD ports.
Buy the limited edition to get Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered.
No, what I'm saying is bring out the HD games. Like, announce Sonic Adventure 3 coming next year. And then, but to hold you over, here's Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 HD.
Yeah.
I would buy that, actually.
Here's another thing, though. We already have Sonic Adventure 1 and 2 HD.
No.
Yes, we do.
We have 480p. That's not HD.
No. They were released on Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 and Steam in HD.
Oh, okay.
They ported them to HD. Now, I would be okay maybe with, like, if they actually took the time to update the graphics to make it look like a modern Sonic game.
Or maybe fix some of the bugs.
Yeah, fix some of the bugs and physics and stuff. I don't know. My problem with that is that I already own the games, so why would I buy them again?
I actually don't. I had them.
So that'd be perfect for you.
Yeah,
but
so I would probably buy them. That and I'm a Sonic fan. I'll buy them no matter what.
But at this point, if they called a game Sonic Adventure 3, I feel like that would just be like a hollow marketing decision. Like, let's call it Sonic Adventure 3 because everybody loves the adventure games.
No one says that. Sonic Adventure 1's not as good as everyone says it is, and if Pro Jared proves anything, Sonic Adventure 2 is trash.
I feel like...
The Chow saved those games.
But the nostalgia, though.
The Chow saved the fuck out of those games.
The nostalgia that everyone has towards those games is what makes them seem like they're the best games in the world.
I do want a new Sonic game, though.
Yeah, same. Alright, so it was announced recently that the live-action Rurouni Kenshin trilogy of movies is coming to America thanks to Funimation.
Funimation of America, right?
Yeah, Funimation. Well,
I mean...
They have a films subsidiary. It's like Funifilms or Funimation Films or something. But yeah, live-action Rurouni Kenshin films. Did you know these movies even existed?
No, I had no idea.
I had no idea either.
They look good from what I've seen.
They look really, really good. Like, holy shit! Like, I wish I knew these existed before. I'm
so glad we have anime news for once.
Yeah, we don't get a whole lot of anime news very often. But yeah, do you have any history for Rurouni Kenshin?
I love Rurouni Kenshin. Yes.
Tell me more.
Oh God.
Go on.
It was the first anime I watched outside of the Toonami era.
Mm-hmm.
And then it came to Toonami later. Because, I started with Outlaw Star. That was my first anime ever. Saw on Toonami. And, followed shortly by, Dragon Ball Z, Sailor Moon, Tenchi Muyo. Those animes that came on that are Toonami all the time. But a friend of my brother's, my dad used to work at a bowling alley. And we had a friend that worked there with him. And he brought over a homemade DVD, the first 6 episodes of Rurouni Kenshin, and I fell in love. This anime is godlike. I really, really like Kenshin as a character. I like the conviction that he has, and how he doesn't actually want to hurt anybody.
Yeah, because doesn't he have like a wooden sword?
Yeah, usually.
My history with the anime isn't as in depth as yours is.
Right.
Back in the day, I watched Toonami like most people did. Apparently,
I mean, it was the perfect time slot for the target audience. Even it was right after school.
Well, and I think at the point that Rurouni Kenshin came on, it was when it had moved to Saturday nights.
Oh, okay.
But even then, like I was still really into it. I watched Dragon Ball Z, and I think at this point it might have been Dragon Ball GT that they were showing.
Yeah.
Which even back then I still enjoyed to an extent.
It's not the same, but
Big O and stuff like that were on at the time. Oh my god,
Big O!
Yeah, but I still remember like watching giant robots fighting in the den of my grandparents'
house. That's a
house.
series I need.
Yeah, that's like this tiny little tube TV
so
that they had. But Rurouni Kenshin, I distinctly remember just a few little snippets of it, but absolutely loving like that samurai action.
Yeah.
And I haven't really watched too much of it as of late. I think it is still on Netflix.
Yeah.
But I've seen a few episodes of it recently. And it's interesting. It really is. And I've always thought like samurai and like just samurai movies and stuff. Mm-hmm. I think that's a really interesting genre. It also feels like it's almost a dead genre. Like you don't see that coming out very often.
The last samurai anything that I really remember being like Samurai Champloo back in like the early 2000s.
But I'm talking about movies.
Oh yeah, I know.
But Samurai Champloo is actually really good as well.
Good.
Yeah. Too bad that it went off of Netflix. I actually found a few episodes on my DVR, so yay!
Nice.
Thanks DVR for automatically recording that.
I remember during A2F. Yeah, it was A2F. I was staying in Taylor's hotel room for the night. There's your Samurai Champloo marathon going on. And so there's 2 TVs for whatever reason in the hotel room, and we both have them on to Samurai Champloo. This is awesome. You hear the anime in stereo. It's funny.
Yeah. But I really like samurai stories, especially one of my favorite anime of all time is actually Samurai 7.
I was going to mention that actually.
Yeah, which mixes samurai genre with kind of mecha robot, like futuristic sort of thing. I only say mecha because some of the enemies are basically mechs. But that's a really interesting anime. So, but getting back on topic of Rurouni Kenshin, this movie looks to be a lot grittier than what we would have seen on Cartoon Network. For sure.
There's I didn't see because I saw the homemade homebrew version of the original anime version of Rurouni Kenshin. So what I remember is a lot more graphic than what we got on Toonami.
Yeah. I mean, like the first line in this trailer, just actually posted by IGN, was "Live by the sword and die by the sword," and like there's no other way for us. And then it cuts to the blade bathed in blood must be reborn. Like you never would have seen any of that on Toonami, but it looks to be a lot grittier. But I'm fine with that. And it looks to have a lot of really interesting action. Be properly violent for what a samurai movie should be. Now I don't know how faithful it is to the anime.
I don't exactly care. To be honest.
Well, honestly, I don't care how faithful an adaptation is, as long as we get a good product out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, at the very least, the main actor looks the part of Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah, he does.
Like he looks like he's got the orange hair, he's got the red outfit, scar. And the scar, of course. That iconic scar that the character has. I'm totally hyped for this movie, for these movies, because it's a samurai movie. That alone, I'm happy with. But then the fact that it's an anime that I grew up with,
for sure,
makes it even better. So I'm excited for it.
Me too. Yeah, I'm sorry. I sound like I don't care at all. It's 'cause I'm so tired. Please forgive me. I'm really excited. I hope they come to Northwest Arkansas because they're coming to theaters, right?
Yeah, they're coming. It says right here, Funimation will release all 3 movies sequentially in late 2016. So it's probably what they're going to do with the Attack on. It's probably going to be similar to what happened with the Attack on Titan movies when they were shown in theaters here, where they'll 1 week they'll show part 1. And then next week they'll show part 2.
Oh, okay.
So this one, it might be 1 week is the first movie, and then the second, and the third.
Cool.
In the coming weeks.
Then a marathon.
Yeah. Maybe.
That would be awesome.
Yeah, and hopefully I'll get to see them because I'll probably be at college at that time. But who knows? They might show them there too.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I want to see them.
I'm excited.
Me too.
But now for something that I have nothing to say on because I don't watch wrestling.
So, apparently this is going to become a thing. It's time for my monthly WWE segment.
WWE with Frank Whack!
So Money in the Bank just happened last Sunday.
Money in the Bank?
Is great pay-per-view. It's probably the best pay-per-view WWE put on in a long time. The second, a close second would be Royal Rumble this year was really good. But Money in the Bank, by far, best pay-per-view WWE has put on, if you don't count NXT stuff, I guess. NXT TakeOver Dallas is probably just a little better. Money in the Bank results. I'm trying to remember. The first match they had was actually the Fatal 4-Way Tag match, which I don't know why that match went on first. It should have been way further down the card. Enzo and Cass, the Vaudevillains, Gallows and Anderson, and The New Day. I'm actually going to go ahead and give you guys all my predictions too, because if you don't know, I live tweet all the pay-per-views and I give my predictions and stuff. I went 5 for 8 out of this one. I didn't feel too bad about that. I predicted a long shot with Gallows and Anderson by interference of Finn Balor, and that didn't happen, and I was sad.
I'm giving him this look right now what the hell are you talking about? I'm so confused.
Okay. I guess this needs a little bit of explaining for CWood and the people that don't watch wrestling. Back in New Japan Pro Wrestling, Japan's biggest wrestling thing, they have a group of people called the Bullet Club. It's a big thing. Do you remember the NWO at all? God.
I barely watched wrestling.
Okay, so there's a really cool faction called the Bullet Club. That's all you really need to know from New Japan. WWE got 4 of their members, simultaneously. 3 of their members simultaneously, and Finn Balor was already there on NXT. Those people being AJ Styles and Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Finn is still on NXT at the moment. He's about to move up to the big shows. But he's been doing a thing called Balor Club. He's been calling his fan base the Balor Club. Which I thought the WWE was going to come in and try to do this whole Balor Club versus Bullet Club thing. And take Gallows and Anderson. Anyway, moving on. If you really want to hear me talk about that, tweet me. Tell me you want a video. I might make one.
If he has any time available.
That's true. You're very right. I just do a live video. The basically highlights. Corbin Ziggler was good again for the 12th time. I wish they would move on. I wish they'd let Corbin do better things. I cannot remember most of the matches. The women's tag match was stupid. Nobody cared.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I didn't care either.
Shut up, stupid. Thank you so much for that.
I have so much to add.
On to the big highlights. Cena AJ Styles, which was, they kept pitting it down as a WrestleMania caliber main event match. And it is. Sure, I'll give you that. And don't downgrade Money in the Bank just because you have a good WrestleMania caliber match. And the match was amazing until the end, where Gallows and Anderson interfered when they shouldn't have. And AJ Styles won Not clean. I don't like that. Whatever. Moving on. Money in the Bank ladder match. The Dean Ambrose won, just like I thought he would. They had the Titus O'Neil-Rusev match for the United States Championship, like, second to last, which didn't make a lick of sense to me. It's like, why? Everybody knows Titus O'Neil's not going to win that. He's a jobber. That's what he does. Anyway, the big match, though, Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. It's a great match. Really, really well done. The ending could not have been better. Spear into a pedigree, into another pedigree. Rollins actually won. I did not see it coming. I was kind of banking on Dean coming out and taunting them. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit of a long segment, Steven. I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm over here playing the Kingdom Hearts mobile game. I'm grinding for money. The
way I saw it happening, I saw Dean coming out at toward the end of the match and taunting that he was going to cash in Money in the Bank and then not do it and cost Seth the title. I thought that's what was going to happen. I thought they were going to push Roman some more or whatever. But it didn't happen. Seth wins clean over Roman Reigns. Thank you, God. I'm so glad they're not pushing Roman anymore.
Especially because...
No, not yet. I'm getting there. Okay. Seth Rollins wins clean, and Dean Ambrose cashes in the Money in the Bank the day of. I didn't see it happening. I don't know why. I saw Dean waiting a little bit and playing and abdicating. But no, he cashed in the same night he won it, wins the WWE Championship. Mind blown. Great pay-per-view. And then we hear not 2 days later that Roman Reigns has been suspended for breaking the wellness policy. Ah, Roman, we knew you had it in you.
So how exactly did he break the wellness policy?
They don't say. Probably it's substance abuse, something like steroids, something like that.
Yeah, that's what I thought I had heard something about.
It's either illegal drugs like marijuana or something like that. A la how Jeff Hardy and RVD always get kicked out. Or it's substance abuse like steroids or muscle pill things that are totally illegal in the WWE.
Totally illegal, period, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, they cracked down really hard on it, and I'm really glad that they're not giving any slack to Roman. I heard rumors that this was found out before Money in the Bank, but it was too close to really give everybody a new main event to vacate Roman's title. It was just there's too much to do, so they had to go ahead and let Roman have the Money in the Bank match, but have him lose. Mm-hmm. Thanks, Roman. We hate you.
No,
we
fucked up.
Really hate you. But yeah, Roman's going to be gone for 30 days. He'll be back just in time for Battlegrounds, if they even let him in the main event. They just called the main event on Monday that it was going to be Seth versus Dean versus Roman, which is the match that we've all been waiting for since the Shield broke up. They were all the members of the Shield. You don't care.
I don't.
The last thing I really, 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 really want to talk about is the brand split happening. July 17th, I do believe. No, that's a Sunday. July 18th. No, 19th, because it's going to be on SmackDown. 19th. July 19th on SmackDown. The first live show, live on Tuesday night on SmackDown, the WWE Network. There's going to be a brand split. Which has not happened in a very long time, and I kept saying for ever since I started watching wrestling again back in December that it needs to happen. There's just too much talent. There's too many.
So, if I remember correctly, it's they're splitting SmackDown and Raw.
Yeah.
Okay.
For the last 8 or so years, SmackDown and Raw had the same roster. All the wrestlers go to both shows, and they build stories that way. They're going to split that. They're going to have 2 separate rosters. And I'm betting for now that the Tag Team Champions and the WWE World Heavyweight Champion, or whatever they call it, will be on both shows, like the Undisputed Champion back in the day. But no, this is a great move because this allows better rivalries. This allows more rivalries, better storytelling, more storytelling, and more people get pushed, which is really important because you people like Bray Wyatt, who's now doing something with the New Day, that'll be cool. I can't wait for that. But you have all these NXT guys that have moved up that were just we want more from them. I said Baron Corbin and Ziggler have been fighting since WrestleMania. It's been like 2 years, 2 months, and it's getting old. It's getting old real fast. Apollo Crews and Sheamus is going to be a thing for a few months. Great. I don't care. I really want to see Corbin and Crews go far. I'd like to see like one of them go after the United States title with Rusev. That'd be cool. But I'm not sure what to expect. There's a lot that could happen. I don't really have an opinion at the moment. I'm just kind of there for the ride.
All right. And moving on from the WWE, we've got some Nintendo NX talk. There's been a few rumors flying around.
The Nintendo NX.
Sonic Adventure DX. Nintendo NX. The Knicks? They're a baseball team? What?
The New York Knicks. It's got the Mango Sentinel.
But there's been a few rumors flying around lately.
It's more than a few.
Yeah. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit. First one that I want to talk about is probably the dumbest one I've heard. Cartridges.
I don't think it's dumb at all.
Really? You think that
I'm okay with it.
Modern console can survive with cartridges?
The 3DS sells just well.
Yeah, but that's a handheld.
We don't know what the NX is yet.
It's a handheld that does 240p.
But we don't know.
You're telling me that a full 1080p, hell, maybe even 4K system is going to use cartridges. Load times will be great, but you can't put hardly any data on there.
Who says you need to? Well, we're talking... Okay, wait. Well, let's talk about digital download, stuff like that. In the age of digital... Who's to say they can't put the very basics on a crappy cartridge, sell the game to you for like $10-$20, and give you an update?
So you're telling me that they're going to do the Tony Hawk Pro Skater 5 route, where basically what they're selling you is a glorified demo, and then you have to download the majority of the game.
I'm saying that could happen. I'm speculating completely. I don't think it'll be bad as long as Nintendo does it right.
That just sounds... No offense, asinine to me. I do not see them ever... I don't see any game... I don't see any game console, any home console, going back to cartridges anytime soon. You can put way more data on a disc. No one's going to want to do that because you can run out of space so quickly on a modern console. Like, they would have to give you at least a terabyte, maybe even 2 terabytes. You can't tell me that... Nintendo, look at the Wii U. They only give you 32 max.
Yeah. Well, they have a lot. You could put hard drives on it, just like
but who wants to go out and buy increased? I would rather be able to have a large amount of storage in my system rather than having to go out and buy more storage space.
So, I mean, when you technically think about it, look at the Xbox One S, whatever it's going to be called.
Yeah.
You buy the original 500 gig system. You could buy a 2 terabyte hard drive for cheaper than the extra $100 to buy the 2 terabyte system and have 2.5 terabytes. I mean, I'm fairly certain. Especially, if you go to Black Friday, especially. Oh, you could probably buy a 3 terabyte hard drive on Black Friday.
2 terabyte hard drives are easily $100, if not more.
Yeah, but you're getting an extra 500 gigs out of that. You following me?
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know.
I don't know the future. I don't know what Nintendo's planning. I don't even know what the damn NX is.
Yeah, nobody knows. Except apparently CD Projekt Red.
Well, yeah, there's developers and stuff that know.
And Ubisoft.
And cartridges have been confirmed, I'm pretty sure.
For the NX?
I'm fairly certain.
No, it has not. They have never come out and said that they are going back to cartridges.
No, but okay. I saw a thing on GameStop announced that it wasn't going to be all digital, and all the patents that we've seen don't have a disk drive.
Yeah, but those patents don't necessarily indicate that that's how the system is going to be.
Sure.
That's just something that they came up with, and they wanted to patent it so that they, so that no one else takes that from them.
Again, I'm speculating here. I don't know dick.
You really don't.
And that's it for today's episode of the Fandom Fighters Podcast.
But it just does not seem smart to me to do that. especially in today's age.
I feel like it could be done right.
I don't know, because you're telling me that you would rather you'd rather buy like a fifth of your game? You're not even buying the full game then.
No. What I mean by this is they sell you the cartridge and the downloads are free. Like, if it's that way, I don't see it being so bad. Especially if you can sell the damn game for $20 or cheaper than $60. Because God knows I can't afford that, and that's half the reason people don't buy Nintendo consoles. Think about that. I know a lot of people that don't buy a Wii U strictly because all the games stay so fucking high in value.
Actually, as of late, the games have been going down. Mainly because they're starting to shift focus to the NX, which they say isn't a replacement, but it totally is. But
I mean, look at Wind Waker HD physical is still $40. Twilight Princess is sitting at $55 used.
Twilight Princess just came out in April.
Sure.
Like, of course it's still sitting at $55 used. It's been out for barely a month.
Smash Brothers is still at $40. And it's been 2 years.
Yeah, but like, you've got, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze and like Nintendo.
You have 4 games. And Nintendo Land, if you want to count that. But no,
I was actually going to say, I flubbed the word. Super Mario 3D World.
That's 2. NEX Remix.
Yeah. Pikmin 3.
Pikmin 3.
Like, yeah, but still, it shows that they are at least, considering they are at least taking into account that, they do tend to, keep
Do you think they'll ever do it with Zelda?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I would. I would be terribly surprised if they did it with Zelda. Zelda's like their bread and butter.
Well, they did it with Mario, and honestly, Mario sells better than Zelda ever has.
How was Mario 3D World again?
I'm not talking about quality, I'm talking about sales. And
that's because Mario's more well known.
Yeah, but even then, like, Zelda isn't far behind. I don't know. But
I'm just saying, price point is a huge issue.
Price point is a huge issue.
Especially for Nintendo.
But honestly, like, I don't see having to pay, $40 to $60 for a brand new game being that crazy. Like, honestly, like, I'm in the same boat as you. I can't afford a lot of those games because they are so pricey. But that's the story for a lot of games that I want to play, regardless of whether it's Nintendo.
It's not just that they start high; they stay high. The good Nintendo games.
So you're telling me that you're just not up for paying, for a good game?
I'm not saying that. I bought Mario Maker the day it came out.
Same.
I bought Mario Kart 8 the day it came out.
I didn't because I didn't have a Wii U at the time, but when I did get a Wii U, it was the first game I bought.
I bought Splatoon the week it came out and shortly sold it because I didn't have internet.
I bought Splatoon the day it came out. Actually, I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered Mario Maker technically too, but yeah.
But if Nintendo can find a way to drop their price points at all, even if it's $10, that's a huge step. Huge. If they can bring Breath of the Wild out for $50...
I don't see that happening.
The NX would sell like hotcakes.
Maybe the Wii U version might be $50, but I don't see the NX version of Breath of the Wild being $60. I just don't see that happening.
You don't see it being 60 or 50?
I don't see it being any lower than 60.
Okay.
Like, because even comparing
I'm talking what ifs here.
But comparing it to other AAA titles, it's not it is comparing it to other AAA titles. Like, it's going to come out to match that price point that no AAA.
What if it didn't?
Well, if it didn't, then that'd be great. But I just don't see it happening. I see it being $60.
The NX comes out being $350, even $400. And Breath of the Wild, if it comes with it, great. I doubt it will.
It'll probably come with like some some
Wii Sports
simulator, Nintendo Land thing.
They dropped $10. That's a big step. If they can drop more than that, holy shit! Yeah. The NX will sell like hotcakes, just like the Wii did.
I think the problem with why Nintendo is so resilient on not lowering their prices is because they're Nintendo. People are going to buy their games regardless of what the price point is.
But are they?
A lot of people are. A lot of people don't care how expensive a Nintendo game is.
There's a lot of people that are, too.
They're just going to buy it because it's Nintendo. I know there are some people who can't.
I wouldn't say some.
People who won't.
I would say it's about 50-50 at best.
I'm going to tell you right now, before this podcast, I've never heard, I don't think I've ever heard of anyone who's strictly saying that they wouldn't buy a Wii U because the games never go down in price. And
I know
I've never heard that. I never honestly have. The majority of reasons that I've seen for people not wanting to buy a Wii U is the lack of third-party support. And that's honestly what I want to see with the NX, is third-party support. Because Nintendo has had piss-poor third-party support ever since the Wii.
Do they need it? Really?
Did you see the Wii U? Did you see how poorly that sold?
It's still a great console. I'll defend the Wii U till it's great.
The Wii U is only a great console because Nintendo.
Yes!
The only games we're finding on the system are Nintendo's games! What third-party game is the best on
I don't need a third-party game. I bought the Wii U because I like Nintendo.
Yeah, I understand that. But me personally, I kind of hate how I had to buy my Wii U so I can play the Nintendo games, but then I have to go and buy a PS4 just to be able to play multi-platform games. That bothers me. I don't want to play. I want to play my third-party games on my Wii U. For example, Watch Dogs. I wanted to play Watch Dogs on the Wii U. And yeah, it eventually came out. Nearly over half a year later.
Yeah.
That's just ridiculous. And Ubisoft, hasn't released another mature title on the system since. And it's easy to see why. Nobody wants to develop for the Wii U. Honestly, I want Nintendo. I think
that was a design thing more than anything, though.
Well,
but the NX fixes that.
Honestly, I want the NX to bring in third-party support. I want that.
I couldn't care less. I really couldn't. I don't care. There's not many third-party games that interest me. I'm trying to think of a game that comes out on...
Watch Dogs 2. You told me that you wanted to play Watch Dogs 2.
Okay, sure.
So if Watch Dogs 2 came to the NX, and it was the best version of Watch Dogs 2... Would you buy it for the NX, or would you buy it for the PS4?
Of course I would buy it for the NX. That's not the point. The point is, if it didn't, I'd still buy the NX.
My problem... But I understand your mentality on it. Because you view the NX as the Nintendo machine, right?
Even if it's not the NX, if it's the next console or whatever, I'll buy the Nintendo one first every single time.
Because you like Nintendo games, right?
Shigeru Miyamoto, games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
And goddamn it, Nintendo games are fucking fun.
Yeah. I understand that. However, there's a lot of people who can only afford one console in their household. They can only afford
when the next generation of consoles
come along. They can only afford to get one. So
I don't care about Call of Duty. I don't care about Halo. I don't care about God of War.
Yeah, I understand that. But there are some people who have to look at each console and see what each one offers. And if the NX doesn't offer Ubisoft games, Activision games, EA games, you may not care about that. But the average consumer might. The average consumer might want to play Call of Duty, and if they can't get that on the NX, then why should they buy that over the PS4 Neo or the Xbox?
Because Nintendo games are fun.
Yeah, I understand that, but that seems like that's your only argument in this point.
Do I need another one? Games are supposed to be fun.
I understand that games are supposed to be fun.
When Call of Duty is not fun and hasn't been fun since Call of Duty 4?
Now that's your perception, but other people really enjoy those games. There's a reason that they keep selling every year. Okay,
when I worked at GameStop, I swear to God, I had so many people come in and buy Call of Duty Black Ops 2 or Black Ops 1. Oh, I'm only playing it for the multiplayer. Then why have the rest of the game? Why not just sell Black Ops Zombies?
They did. They did that with Black Ops 3 on the PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360. No story mode. Only multiplayer.
That's because they couldn't handle it. There's a difference.
You can't tell me that they couldn't have lowered the resolution, lowered some of the polygons.
They probably could have if they wanted to.
But most people.
But they dropped the price, $10 whole, got rid of the story mode, which nobody plays in Call of Duty but me anyway.
I know some people who do.
But your average audience doesn't give a shit about the story mode.
Yeah, but still, that doesn't change the fact that people want to play Call of Duty. People want to play
Watch Dogs. They want to play zombies.
People want to play Assassin's Creed and Mass Effect, and they want to do it on whatever system they choose. And it's gonna and if the NX has those, then that's not going to be bad.
Sure, I'm not saying it would be bad. I'm not saying it would be bad.
If you can play those games on the NX, that's going to help it sell.
I agree.
Yeah,
but I'm saying even if it doesn't, I'm buying the NX. Yeah. And I think everyone should buy the NX, even if it doesn't. Are you kidding? Did you not see the Breath of the Wild shit?
I saw it.
Jesus Christ, that game looks fun.
Yeah, you can open a chest and get pants. It's awesome. I just find it to be comical. It's comical, man.
I'm with you.
Pants.
I'm with you. I'll always defend Nintendo. Yeah. Which is funny because I grew up Sega. Yeah. But Sega doesn't exist anymore, so...
No, man, Dreamcast 2 totally happening.
Dreamcast 2 is totally...
It's going to have cartridges and be more powerful than the PS4.
Be prepared, everybody. Next year we're doing an April Fool's episode.
Nah, but honestly, I would like to see third-party support because...
I wouldn't be against it.
Yeah.
I just don't care. If it has it, if it doesn't, I'm still buying the NX.
Yeah.
Before any other console, just like I did the Wii U.
But all I'm trying to say here is that it is a big thing that some people will be looking for.
Sure.
Yeah.
I can agree with you there. I don't think it matters too much. Again, games are supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
You have fun playing Fallout? Cool.
Yeah. Go
buy that console. I don't care.
Okay. Moving on to the next topic, something else that he doesn't that he told me he doesn't care about.
Because I didn't say it that way. I never grew up with Ben 10.
Yeah. So Ben 10, which is a cartoon show that I personally grew up with.
I remember my younger brother grew up with it, so at that point in time I was like, I'm above that.
Yeah. It came out in the first show in the franchise came out in 2005. And it's about this kid named Ben, obviously.
2005, I was 14.
I was 10, so... But it came out in 2010... 2005, God.
2010.
But it came out in 2005. And it's about this kid named Ben. He's like 10 years old, just like I was.
Oh my God, I relate to him!
He's just like Chris Thorndike.
Too much. Go on.
Okay, go. And he gets this thing called the Omnimatrix stuck to his hand.
That's not hard to say.
Yeah, and it allows him to turn into these different aliens. So basically he decides to become a superhero using the powers of these different aliens. Like, one of them is like is like super strong, has like 4 arms. One of them is like a lava rock monster and can shoot fire. One of them is like a computer creature who can, take control of electronics. Yeah. One of them's just a giant man made out of diamonds who can shoot diamonds out of his hands and turn his hands into diamond blades. There's a ghost creature that is secretly that has its own personality and basically tries to take control of Ben. It's really weird. Who programmed that shit?
So there's a reboot.
Yeah, but really good. And there were 4 movies. 4.
Wow, really?
Yeah. 2 of them were animated. I didn't even know about the 4th one. 2 of them were actually live action, though.
Go on.
Yeah. And there were 4 shows. There was Ben 10,
Jesus.
Which is when he was 10 years old.
Right.
There's Ben 10 Alien Force, so when he's a teenager.
I see. He grows up a little bit in each one, doesn't he?
Yeah. There's Ultimate Alien, which is he's still a teenager.
Right.
And then there's Omniverse, which I don't even fucking understand what happens in Omniverse. Like, I think he's still supposed to be a teenager, or maybe he reverts to being. I don't know. I didn't watch Omniverse. By that point, I was outside of that.
Right.
But they recently came out and said that in October of this year they're going to be they're going to have a reboot of Ben 10.
It doesn't look good.
It doesn't.
Like, from the still images, that's all we have.
Yeah. From what we've been able to see, they've completely changed the art style. Completely.
Well, I mean, it's been 10 years since the original, or 11 even.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt you could get the same artist. I bet they're doing other things.
I understand that, but even, like, for example, with the Powerpuff Girls reboot. Yeah, it looks different, but it looks similar, at least.
I got you.
Like, it at least looks similar. With Ben 10...
So they could have tried harder.
They could have tried harder to make it look similar. And I'm okay with, like, a slight art style shift, but this looks even radically different from Omniverse, which had its own art style. And honestly, it looks like something that you would see on, like Playhouse Disney or Disney Junior or something. Mm-hmm. Like a preschooler show. That's what it honestly looked like to me. like the preschool version of Ben 10.
Right.
And they redesigned some of the characters, like the character, like they redesigned some of the aliens. So the alien Upgrade, which was the one who could take control of electronics, he's purple now, which is weird, but okay. And then like there's like a bug one that he can turn into, and that one is more humanoid now, which is kind of weird. Like he looks completely different. There's a plant one. There's a plant alien he can turn into, and it's more humanoid now. Weird little different stylistic changes that I don't really understand why they had to do it, but okay. Maybe to make him easier to animate.
Probably.
Because honestly, it looks... I know why I don't like this art style. It reminds me of Johnny Test.
You know like Johnny Test?
Johnny Test was shit, man.
I love Johnny Test.
No, early Johnny Test was okay. Early...
Johnny
let's be
Test
honest,
is hysterical.
but let's be honest, it went downhill. It went way downhill.
I mean, it's supposed to be stupid, though.
You can't defend a show to me by saying, it was supposed to be.
Look at SpongeBob. Look at fucking SpongeBob.
You can't tell me that the earlier episodes of SpongeBob were a lot better than
you can't also tell me that it went downhill pretty quickly.
Yeah, like after the movie came out, it went downhill, yeah. But you can't tell me that when it started off, it was good.
I liked Ben 10, that's all I'm saying.
You like Ben 10?
Oh, that was Johnny Test, whatever.
No.
I thought it was a funny show.
Yeah, but this looks like to me like some sort of like preschooler version of Ben 10. And
I mean, they're targeting a younger audience.
Maybe they are, but
like the original did way back when.
Yeah, but then why not just make your own show? Why do you? What I don't understand is why Cartoon Network has to take these old franchises and try to reinvent them for a new audience.
You act like this is the first time anything like this has ever happened.
It's not. I understand that.
Final Fantasy VII.
No, but I'm talking
about
animation.
The same thing.
I understand that.
No, it's the same thing.
I understand that, but my issue is necessarily with Cartoon Network right now, with the Powerpuff Girls. Okay, I was more than happy to see like that special comeback that they did a few years back.
Yeah.
But then they bring back the show, and I'm not saying that just because it's different, it's bad. But when you when you take a show that's so beloved, like Powerpuff Girls, which I see you smirking, but it's actually really beloved.
I love the Powerpuff Girls. I really do.
There's a huge fan base.
You're still acting like this is something new.
My problem is that when you take something beloved like that, and then you add in pop culture references everywhere.
Teen Titans Go.
And Teen Titans. And you add in twerking and memes and all this crap that has no place in a show like that. It feels like they just suck out the soul of the show.
But to a 10-year-old, it's brand fucking new.
Yeah, but then
I'm not saying they're right. I'm not saying you're right. I'm just saying, in a different pair of eyes, it could be cool to them.
Yeah, but it's the same. It's a problem that I'm having with a lot of anime.
It's not targeted for us.
I understand that, but I just have an issue with a lot of animation that's coming out these days. A big one is like Breadwinners on Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
Pickle and Peanut on Disney XD.
I don't watch any of these, so.
Well, it's going out of its way just to be, lol, funny random meme.
It's what kids like.
And like, look at this,
You look at the YouTubers.
Being as cheap as possible with limited animation.
You look at the YouTubers that I will use my niece and nephew as an example again because they're the best example of this. They love like Jacksepticeye, PewDiePie. They love that crazy lol randomness. I absolutely can't stand it.
Yeah.
I think Jack is obnoxious.
But look
as a YouTuber.
But look, and I don't like PewDiePie, I understand that. But look back at Batman the Animated Series.
Sure.
Okay.
You're talking about the 90s versus now.
That was for its time, for a show targeted towards kids, that was a smart and highly stylistic and, for a kids show, gritty.
To use a more modern reference, like the Fairly Odd Parents, Jimmy Neutron. They were more thought out than today's stuff.
Well, Fairly Odd Parents, when it started out, that show, did you know, is still running?
Really?
Yeah, and it is the dumbest thing in the world.
Oh,
they added in a baby, they added
adapted
in a dog.
to a new audience.
No, it's not No, at that point, it's not adapting to a new audience. It's trying to add. It's desperately trying to add in something to keep it running because they wanted to try to keep milking it instead of coming up with new ideas.
Didn't you just say it's still on TV?
I understand it's still on TV.
It's working.
Barely.
It's working. So hold on. No, I'm gonna bring you back to something you just said though. I forgot what it was.
Real quick though. With that Batman show, it was smart, dark, and thought out.
Sure.
Don't you think kids deserve something like that?
Sure.
Like, I understand kids can enjoy LOL Random.
Look at Adventure Time.
Yeah. Adventure Time. Steven
Universe.
Yeah. Don't you think that they deserve more high quality shows like that?
Are they gonna get it? That's not up to me. I mean, sure. Do they deserve it? We could shout all day about how they deserve it. Are they gonna get it? What was that? I'm not going to move the table again.
But yeah.
We're talking about rebooting things instead of just making something new. You're sounding like me. Fucking Square. I'm going to bring up my PTSD.
Dear God. No, guys, run. I did not mean to do this. Get out.
No, but it's the exact same thing. It is. It's the exact same thing. Why can't Square make a new game? Why?
Okay, here's my issue with that, though. Okay, because you complain about... Because here's the thing. Okay, Final Fantasy 15, you complain about how long that took out.
It's been a decade. Yeah. And it's Kingdom Hearts. It's not Final Fantasy.
That's just gameplay. That's just like gameplay simulators. And you know me,
all that matters.
You know me, I'm a massive Kingdom Hearts fan. You know that.
Gameplay is all that matters.
But I've played that, and that honestly was not the same as Kingdom Hearts. It honestly wasn't.
It's way more Kingdom Hearts than it is Final Fantasy.
Yeah, but you're still stuck in the whole idea that...
Yes, I still want menu-based combat.
Yeah, and here's the thing that you were telling me that, it's adapting to a new audience.
Sure, I agree with you there.
Okay, fine.
Is it Kingdom Hearts? Yes!
It's not Kingdom Hearts!
It's not Final Fantasy. If they would have called it anything else, if they would have just brought a new franchise on, used Noct to bring in a new generation of games, I'd have been so okay with it.
That was the original plan, even.
I would probably like it even more. I kind of like Final Fantasy 15. I'll give it a fair shot. I'll probably buy it the day it comes out, because I still love Square. As much as I hate them, I still love them.
But here's my thing with Final Fantasy, though. With each new game that comes out, essentially, now I know there's things like 10, 13, 13 and all that, but with each new numbered entry, they pretty much shake up everything that they had from before, and they make a new world, new protagonists, a brand new story. But it feels like with these shows that I'm talking about, all they want to do is take these old characters and these old worlds and just repackage them for this new audience.
But that's what Square's doing.
They're not doing that with 15.
12, 13, and 11. No, 11 was online. So 12 and 13 were near the same game. Mechanically. Gameplay-wise, they're almost identical. You just put a new coat of paint on it, you put them in a new world, you drop in whiny-ass Hope, and there you go, you got Final Fantasy 13. It's totally different than this other game we made 3 years ago.
I disagree, but whatever. Look.
Final Fantasy died at 10.
Final Fantasy 6 to 7 changed. 7 to 8 changed. 8 to 9 changed. 9 to 10 changed. 10 to... We're skipping 11 because 11's online. 10 to 12 changed.
Yeah. 12 to 13? No.
But 13 to 15, it's changed.
Well, yeah, it needed to. Thank God. Anyway, I'm sorry. I have issues. I understand.
Yeah.
But it's very closely related.
Yeah, but my problem with this, though, with this reboot is that they're reusing a lot of the same stuff that they used in the original Ben 10 years ago. And it just feels like a pointless reboot. It honestly does. And I would have preferred them come up with something new, rather than just taking this old property and just rehashing things that, honestly, people saw forever ago. Like, why even remake it? Just show reruns of the old show. And just come out with new toys. Because if you're worried about marketing, honestly... Because
I'm sure there's a reason.
At this point, why even put forth the effort?
I'm very sure there's a reason. I mean, they wouldn't invest money into a new Ben 10 show if they didn't think it was going to sell to a new audience.
whatever.
I mean, I'm sure there's business things.
Yeah. Oh, they'll probably add in like smartphones and
selfies.
Yeah, and like iPads and shit. Because I mean, like back in my
day,
back when it first came out, like the most advanced piece of technology was like the laptop.
The smartwatch.
You saw that in the show, but like, watch the show. Like, watch the Omnimatrix like function as like a smartphone. While watch them post to Instagram and Tumblr on it. Man, the first time I heard a show like reference Tumblr, which was Super Force, it was in Doctor Who of all things. I was just like, ugh. Ew! No! But yeah,
entertainment is changing, man.
I don't like it.
I don't either. Let's talk about the Hyperkin, this smart boy that's coming out.
So for those who don't know about this, Hyperkin, which is famous, or in some people's minds infamous, for their emulation machines, like the Retro. I think they did Retro Duo, but there's the Retron 5.
And they also had the Superboy.
Yeah.
I think that's what they called it.
Yeah. Basically, they make handhelds and consoles that play old video games. Right. So, stuff that plays your Super Nintendo, NES, Genesis, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they are making a accessory for. It's currently only announced for Android phones.
Yeah, and that's because the iPhones are they're too hard to work with. Yeah. Probably.
But it's an accessory for Android phones that will let you plug in your old Game Boy Color, and I think Game Boy Advance cartridges.
I think I heard something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and you'll be able to play those games on your phone using an actual Game Boy style controller.
Yeah.
So basically, you just put your phone in, plug in a cartridge, here you go, you can play your game.
Which is a cool idea on paper.
Yeah. I can tell you right now, back when I was in high school, especially when it was when people found a way to do it on iPhone, Game Boy Advance emulators were huge, like especially on Android. But I remember like my senior year of high school, there's a emulation app that everyone was getting on their iPhones, and everybody was playing Pokemon.
Yeah,
which is weird to say now that I think about it in retrospect, because 2 years earlier everyone was like, "No, Pokemon's for kids." Now everyone's playing Fire Red again on their fucking phone.
Nostalgia, man.
Yeah,
nostalgia sells.
Yeah, but emulation's not a new thing on smartphones at all.
But I mean, this isn't exactly emulation to a degree, because it still plays the old games.
Yeah. It's essentially, from what I understand, it's going to be sort of like what the Retron 5 does, where you plug in the cartridge, it dumps the ROM, and then it plays the ROM, and then you can save, and it'll put the save file on your cartridge.
Which is kind of cool, because guys like me that actually have an old Game Boy.
Yeah.
If my Game Boy dies, I could use that to.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know. See,
and I mean, the nice thing about smartphones nowadays is because a lot of them have the HD screens.
Yeah.
You'll be getting a really nice quality image.
Yeah.
And there's not going to be like any input lag like when you play old video games on a modern TV.
Sure.
Because of how the smartphone works, and how the emulation works.
Right. I mean, not to completely rehash everything that the Completely Unnecessary podcast said. We listened to them talk about this right before we started the show. But I was thinking this before Ian even said it. Who is this really marketed to?
Yeah.
I mean, because the retro collectors that would use this already have a Game Boy.
Exactly.
Probably have 2 or 3 Game Boys. I don't see a point in buying it. Like I said, I already have a Game Boy.
Yeah. I think the only demographic you could really market this towards would be people who grew up with a Game Boy.
That don't currently have one?
That don't currently have one or collect one. They'll be like, "Oh, look, it's Pokemon. I grew up with Pokemon. Hey, let me buy this, accessory for my phone, plug it in, put in Pokemon. Oh, yeah, I'm playing Pokemon Yellow again."
I still think at that point in time, though, you should just go buy a Game Boy.
And if you have, but if you have the smartphone that could work with this device, and if the price point is cheap enough, like $20, a Game Boy Advance SP, which is probably the next best thing, that would probably cost you They
run to 50.
Yeah, 50.
About 50. Which is super good for. It's the best.
It's a nice value, but if this is cheaper, it would probably work for people who are. I mean,
I'm sure people use it, but I mean, I don't know. I don't see it being a better solution, even for a cheaper price point.
I see, honestly, I see it being marketed towards the same people who would buy, I think, the Superboy?
Yeah.
That's like the handheld
Super Nintendo. Yeah.
I see it being marketed similarly to that. I understand, though, that inherently Game Boy games were portable and that Super Nintendo games weren't.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but still, I see it being marketed towards people who are nostalgic for those games, but may not necessarily still have that console.
Just thinking about this, because I use Straight Talk as my cell phone service, so I could see people buying this Hyperkin and then putting it on like an old smartphone that they don't use anymore.
Yeah.
I could see that happening.
Yeah. So basically make a dedicated...
And just turn it into a Game Boy.
Yeah, essentially.
With a
Game Boy player.
I say a Game Boy with Wi-Fi capabilities.
Yeah.
I mean... I could see that.
Yeah, and this could work out really interesting because you could I bet people will find a way to download homebrews and stuff.
Oh yeah. I bet it'll be easily moddable.
Yeah, and like play modded games and
like,
throw cheats into their games.
NES and Sega Genesis probably even.
Yeah. And at the very least, it's another controller for your smartphone.
Sure.
Which, I haven't played a smartphone game with a proper controller, but I know there's some people who buy controllers for the smartphones.
Would you buy one?
Would I buy a Hyperkin Smart Boy?
Yes.
Probably not, just because I'm not too interested in getting old Game Boy games.
I understand.
There's like a small handful of them that I'd be interested in, but most of them, if I want to get them, they're already on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like I mentioned earlier, Pokemon Pinball Ruby and Sapphire. Yeah. That's a game I wanted way back in the day, and I got it on the Wii U Virtual Console. And while it's not like the best pinball experience I've ever had or anything, I still enjoy it. I'm glad, and I can pick it up just about any time I want.
Yeah, I have Pokemon Red on my DS, and I have a physical copy.
Yeah.
I personally am not going to buy one because, again, I have a Game Boy. I don't need it.
At the very least, though, it's kind of a cool piece of technology.
I think it'll be really cool and really marketable if it also has, like the trade link cable thing.
That would be really cool.
Because then you could trade with people with a Game Boy. Yeah. You just make it a part of the accessory, I would imagine. I imagine it's not too hard.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Or even, if Homebrew becomes a big thing for this, to be able to, Wi-Fi trade would be cool.
Yeah. Kind of like what they did in Red and Blue on the 3DS. Yeah.
I don't know. It's a cool thing. Should you buy one? I mean, it really just depends.
Yeah.
I personally, I would rather go out of my way and spend the extra money and buy a Game Boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Was it our first episode?
It was our second episode.
Our second episode, we talked about Chewbacca Mom. And we were really, really positive about it all because at the time it was a positive thing.
Yeah, her video had gone viral. She got to meet J.J. Abrams and was on a few talk shows. And it was really nice, getting to see.
We wanted to revisit the situation though because it's escalated to a point that I think is just fucking crazy.
Yeah, cringe. Oh god, cringe.
So
this is worse. This is worse than Ubisoft E3 press conference.
I would say EA.
I didn't watch that.
So, since the last time we talked about Chewbacca Mom, on top of everything she's already gotten from Hasbro and all the talk shows and the con appearances or whatever, she just recently got her own action figure. I think it's one of a kind. I don't think they're going to.
It's a one of a kind.
I don't think they're going to try to sell a line of them because God knows nobody would buy it.
You don't know. There's some people who would buy it.
Somebody. I didn't look it up. I don't know who. But somebody is going to end up paying tuition for her kids because of this viral video. I'm
going to look this up right now.
This is something I don't understand. I really don't. Because there are people that work hard and do everything they can to pay for school for themselves and don't get, a lick of help despite, how much they try. And this woman makes a viral video and her kids get a free pass.
Yeah. I found an article from ABC News, so I'm going to read it. The Texas mom, who became Facebook's biggest star after posting a live stream of herself wearing a Chewbacca toy mask, has now been offered full college tuition scholarships for her family.
So it's not even just her kids.
Yeah, it's her family. Candace Payne, known as Chewbacca Mom, was surprised with the scholarship offer while visiting Southeastern University in Lakeland, Florida, on Monday. Payne was in Florida with her family for a visit to Walt Disney World in nearby Orlando. Payne, a stay-at-home mom from Grand Prairie, Texas, was on a tour of the 5,000-student private Christian college private Christian school. The school's mascot when SEU's president, Dr. Kent Ingle, joined them. Ingle offered paying her husband and their 2 kids, ages 6 and 7. So they're not even going into college yet.
Not even close.
Yeah, not even close. According to an SEU official, full tuition scholarships whenever they'd like to use them. So it's not even just her kids, it's her and her husband if they want.
Shoot me. Just shoot me. Like, I have not thought about going to college at all because the thought of the prices scared the shit out of me. I don't want loans, I don't want any of that, so I've never thought about, beyond the thought of I would go into school for business. That's all I thought about.
Well, that's probably the best major you can go for. But as a college student, I totally understand. Like, I have scholarships right now that don't pay for everything. But I get stressed out, especially towards the end of the semester, when it's time for finals. And while I've done really well in school, I have to maintain a certain GPA to keep my scholarships.
Right.
And the thought of failing a final and having my grade, and failing finals and having my grades plummet and losing my scholarship, it looms over me. It looms over a lot of people.
That's crazy. And it's...
And that's... added on to the fact that I don't even get enough scholarships to pay for my college fully. It's not like I'm getting a full ride, so it's a scary thing. But
And this woman
just got it all for free because she made a fucking Facebook video. You know what I had to do to get my scholarships? I worked my ass off for 3 years because in this area, high school is a 3-year. In Springdale, high school is a 3-year endeavor. It's not 4 years.
Huh.
I worked my ass off for 3 years of my life. Not necessarily because I was aiming for a specific scholarship, but all that work. But I did video work. I did research work. I did all sorts of different. I did Photoshop work. I did all sorts of different work in high school that helped me get a really good scholarship to a school I wanted to go to, and it doesn't even pay for all of it.
That is...
And this lady,
and that's the nicest way we could put it.
Goes on to Facebook and does a YouTube and does a little video and gets a full scholarship for not just her but 3 other people. Why the hell did I not just do that?
Yeah, I mean
it almost feels like a slap in the face to people who actually worked to get this stuff.
Yeah, or like me that don't do it because of that.
Or people who can't get it.
It's getting out of control. Yeah, it really is.
Honestly, she's probably and I used to think that she might be a nice person.
Yeah,
but then I heard she's charging for autographs.
See, this is what gets me. It's probably my biggest pet peeve when it comes to the quote-unquote celebrities. And I'm going to end up telling some con stories here.
Yeah.
There was it wasn't a conversation video I want to do. It was a,
Whack perspective?
Yeah, like a perspective video I wanted to do called Don't Be a Sorbo.
Sorbo?
When I went to Tulsa Comic Expo 2014, which is like the precursor to Frank Whack, I got to meet Kevin Sorbo. And we were like, cool, it's fucking Hercules, whatever. And the only memories I have of him are him sore. Like he was sour about the whole event. He wasn't making as much money as he thought he was going to.
You're saying that Kevin Sorbo was sore?
He was a Sorbo.
But
I've made that joke too many times. But it was like, it's like the fans didn't matter anymore. It's like the people that watched Hercules and loved the show didn't matter anymore. It was, he wanted that money. And that's all that mattered. And I don't know, that left a bad taste in my mouth for Comic Cons especially. Which is why I was slightly afraid to go to Vision Con.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just looking.
What are you humming about?
Oh, he was not only Hercules in the Hercules show.
Oh yeah.
But he was Hercules in Xena and stuff. So I guess that was in continuity.
Yeah.
But he was also Hercules in the God of War games. And he's retro Hercules in Smite. I don't know. Typecast much? Anyways.
But anyway, man, I don't wanna be mean. I don't wanna get really volatile about this, but you're not famous.
She's internet.
She's a flash in the fucking pan. She's a flash in the
pan of internet famous. She's not even regular famous. She's internet famous, and she's just a flash in the pan. 15-second. No one's gonna think of her in a month from now. I can pretty much guarantee you of that.
And it really upsets me when you take this fame to such an extreme, especially after it was such a good thing. Yeah. It was celebrating fandom, and it was genuine, and it was cool, and it was like, look, that's fandom, that's convention life. Look at this video, and this is what convention life is sort of about. And you take it and you distort it and you contort it to a point where you're making all the money off of it. You get $40,000 worth of Hasbro gifts. You get free college tuition for you and your entire family. And you have the nerve to charge people for your fucking autograph.
Yeah. Like,
I don't get it.
I don't get how someone can get... I guess, like, the fame went to her head, but it's like... Okay, I can understand, like... Okay, so, like, we went to ACA, right? We went to AnimeCon Arkansas, which, by the way... Great con, great people run it. I'm perfectly happy.
Are you telling the Paul St. Peter story?
No. Okay. I'm fine with... I'm going to talk...
He paid $5 for a Paul St. Peter autograph.
Big deal.
And I got upset.
$5. Yeah, he got upset. A bunch of people got upset.
I don't give a damn who you are. If you're William Shatner, if you're Johnny Depp, I'm not paying for your autograph.
Well, but even with, like, Eric Vale and Eric Stewart, who were there, and they charged for their autographs. They charged... I don't remember how much they charged. But
didn't charge me.
Yeah, you somehow got away with not having to pay them.
I mean, it's not like I'm keeping the thing they signed anyway.
Yeah, but well, maybe that's why, because you were giving it away for charity auction.
I don't remember telling them that though.
Anyways, they were charging for their autographs. I think, you know what? I understand your mentality of you not wanting to pay for an autograph, but I can understand why they would, because they have to pay for a lot of the expense. They may have had to pay for a lot of expenses there. And there's also the fact that they are actually famous. Like, yeah, maybe not to the same degree as, say, like a William Shatner, okay?
Sure.
But there's hundreds, thousands of people who care about those actors and will keep caring about those actors because they played characters that they love in movies and shows that they enjoy. This lady... She did a, 30-second video. Yeah, shared around Facebook.
3.5 minutes, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, whatever. She did a little video that shared around Facebook and nothing else, and she will be forgotten within a month. I guarantee you of it.
We said that a month ago, I think.
But legitimately, like, I don't know what kind of ego you have to get to that point where you're such a small-time person and you're charging for your autograph. That'd be like you charging for your autograph. Like, oh my gosh, Frank Wax, you're amazing. I love your YouTube videos. Can I have your autograph? Yeah, give me like $50, man.
So it's really funny that you bring up like me charging for an autograph, for instance, because my whole point on I will never ever pay for somebody's autograph is I feel like that's a form of like idolizing them. Like, oh, you were a part of my childhood. Sure, that may be true. But that doesn't make you better. That doesn't make you any higher up than me. You're still just another dude. Mm-hmm. I mean...
And in your case, you're the dude.
Yeah. I find it almost insulting.
Yeah.
And if I go to a Comic-Con and I see somebody, like, you know, even... Let's use Stan Lee as an example. It charges like $100 for an autograph. He's fucking Stan Lee.
I don't think he actually does that, but yeah.
It's something like that. My brother paid like $80 or something for it. I love how you're already ahead of me. I have it loaded up too.
You saw it in the reflection of my glasses, okay.
But it's like, what was I going with this? Thank you so much.
Sorry, I distracted him by switching over to a different tab.
Man, paying money for somebody's autograph would be a form of idolization to me, and I've told many of my friends, and I've told my girlfriend, I don't want that. I don't want people to idolize me. Sure, you can look up to me, but we're on the same level. Don't call me senpai.
Frank senpai.
Like,
I call him that just as a joke, though.
Like, senpai syndrome is real. It is so real, and it's stupid. I don't understand it. I really don't. I don't get.
Yeah. I know Vic Mignogna has a few stories.
Yeah,
he tells about that.
Yeah,
and it's people like, who freak out and like,
it's like look,
idolize them.
My dad, when I was a kid, and it's one of the only like life lessons my dad taught me that I remember to this day, And my dad always told me, what's true here is true here. What's true on one level is true on another. If we're both people, then we're both people. And I'm not paying for your goddamn autograph. You are just a person.
I like your dad. He sounds cool.
He is very cool. He is the best person.
Yeah. But yeah, I think this whole Chewbacca lady thing has gotten out of hand.
It's gone insanely out of hand. I'm done talking about it.
Episode 4, I think we did this.
Yeah, it was episode 4. The video, the segment will be up on my channel in a few days. It'll probably be up before you hear this. So.
Yeah. On episode 4, we played Will You Press the Button. He had it up on his computer, and I answered the questions. Now the roles have been reversed.
Oh no!
I have the questions, and you shall. I have the Q's, and you shall give the A's.
Oh no! Okay.
Yeah. So
lay it on me.
All right. You can look into the future, but every time you do, you lose a memory you cherish.
No, never.
I will not.
Never. No.
Okay, let's see. 44% of people press the button.
My memories are like the most important thing to me. Like I could imagine losing like con stories and memories like that.
You could forget about me.
That would be okay.
Oh God! Forget I even said it. I can see the future. What were we just talking about?
Who the fuck are you? Get out of my house.
You get to marry the person you love the most, and they will be in love with you, but they're cheating on you.
No. Because the woman I love the most already loves me dearly. And we plan on getting married someday.
Aw, isn't that sweet?
Yeah, love you, Shanoa. She's not watching this. But...
and even if she was, she didn't get this far. I guarantee you. After all the rants.
Well, she's not going to watch the segment either. So
you will have a great relationship, being just like you imagined, but you can only see your friends once a year.
No, God no. That would probably mean I only get to go to like one con a year. No, I've already been to like 5 this year.
You can read people's mind, but if you do, that person will dislike you forever.
Oh, that's interesting.
You finally know what's truly going on in here, but I'll hate you forever.
No, I'd probably
You'll no longer be Frank Senpai.
I will not press the button.
Gosh, this is no fun. You're not pressing the button.
I would probably only use that on like my bosses, and I don't want them to not like me.
One person commented, "Become the best damn interrogator in the world."
That's true. Holy shit. Damn, I wish I should have pressed the button.
You will find your soulmate, your perfect match, but he/she will die exactly 20 years before you.
No.
Because you already found.
I have my soulmate.
Yeah.
What's up with all these love questions?
It thinks I'm answering them. Forever alone.
Oh, it's terrible.
You have the ability and potential to be anything you want to be and do anything you want to do, but you have no motivation to do anything.
No, I'm not pressing that one either. These buttons suck.
I'm already like that, so I'm pressing that button. 55% of people press that button. I
mean, what's the point of being the very best like no one ever was if you have no motivation to be the best? You're like Kurt Cobain.
Okay.
Shots fired.
Dear God! Stop that! That's so wrong. You can stop time to do whatever you want, but there's something you can't do. You don't know what it is, and if you do it, everyone will be back and know what you have done, but you'll be frozen in place.
Knowing my luck, it would be like humping my girlfriend or something.
It'd be like
nothing. Yeah, I'll press that one. Sure, I like those odds. There's only one action that I can't do.
51% press the button.
I would play fighting games. That would probably be my one thing where like I can't cheat in fighting games. God, that would be awesome.
You become the most known person in your country, but you become the most unknown person in the rest of the world. If you talk to someone that's not from your country, they forget you the day after.
Nope.
No?
No. For a few reasons. I plan on going to Japan at one point in time. Mm-hmm. I'd like people to know who I was if I get that sort of fame.
Like housekeeping goes into your room and they're like, "Who the hell are you?"
Or
I'm renting this room.
I also don't want to be known by everybody in America.
Because America is fucked up.
That sounds scary.
You're free to do anything illegal and cannot die until you are 100, but everyone hates you with no possibility of them ever loving you.
Damn. That's a... Shit. So I'm guaranteed to die at age 100.
You cannot die until you are 100.
So I could get shot, and I would live.
Shot to the heart, and you're not dead.
Let's see. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Rob banks, kill people, whatever. But I can't have Shanoa. A lot of this is coming back to her. This sucks.
Can I still have my girlfriend?
Yeah, like if I could have Shanoa, yes. Otherwise, no.
True love, everybody. It's on display today.
Can she do everything illegal too? That would be fun. Can we fucking never mind.
Bonnie and Clyde over here.
Yeah, totally.
You create a pizza everyone loves, and you get famous for it, but you also ruin McDonald's.
Yes! In a heartbeat, are you kidding me?
88% press the button.
That's a 2-for-1 special. I become famous off of my pizza, and I ruin McDonald's? Holy shit. What's a Big Mac?
You will be friendly to all, and everyone will be friends with you, but you will be in near constant pain all the time.
What type of pain are we talking about? I think we're talking about my day-to-day. Sure.
Wow, okay. 33% press the button. So I'm emo and I'm always in constant pain. It's your first comment.
Oh, cheer up, Buttercup. It'll be alright.
You can have whatever you want in the world, but it gets stolen 2 months later.
Is that I can only a singular? I can have one thing.
You can have whatever you want in the world, but it gets stolen 2 months out.
So then I could just want another one, technically, right?
No.
So I get one thing.
Yeah, one thing.
And then it gets stolen. But what if it's... yes. Yes, I'll press the button. I want $1 million. And I will spend it before those 2 months are over.
I feel like it's going to come back to bite you in the ass. Like you're going to be $1 million in debt or something.
I'm okay with that.
If you press the button, you get a powerful computer with unlimited access to internet. But it only runs in Windows 8.
Yes!
You can only use Internet Explorer.
Oh, man. Oh, that's the biter right there. Yeah, I'd probably still press it.
Boom!
I'll deal with Windows.
61% of people press the button.
I'll deal with Windows Explorer for the best computer ever.
In Windows 8, at least the 8.1 version, is not that bad.
Yeah.
You are the only one immune to an apocalyptic virus, but you have to die to save the world.
Was this The Last of Us? What is this? No.
I will not press that button.
No.
69. 69% of people did not press that button.
Alright, 3 more.
Okay. You can travel in time, but every time you do it, you have to kill a person.
How many people do I hate? I mean... You know.
I can think of you traveling in time at least 2 times.
Just start with Trump and...
Trump!
Yeah, I'll press the button.
64% of people press that button. You can summon a killer robot that obeys your commands at will. But
Hang on, before we get into that one, I would move into the future, be in Donald Trump's office or wherever he is. He'd be like, "Who are you?" And be like, "I'm your nightmare. You're fired." Bam.
Like the show. Okay.
Yes, exactly.
Celebrity Apprentice, you're fired. Yeah.
Go.
He got replaced by Arnold Schwarzenegger in that show, by the way.
Did he really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You can summon a killer robot that obeys your commands at will, but you have to cut off your own arm.
Can it be my left arm?
Sure.
Yes.
37% of people who press that button.
I would have the robot play video games with me.
It'll destroy the controller because it's the killer robot. Just like, here, play Street Fighter. Here's the controller.
I beat his ass with one hand. I beat his ass with one hand, and he kills me.
Your eyes become invincible to any damage, but you lose your hearing.
No, I love music way too much.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay. Final one.
You get visa to live in America, but you can never return home?
Let's do another one.
Yeah, refresh. You gain the power to become invisible, but you can only go invisible when you close your eyes.
Yeah, I'd do that.
But here's the question. Can we see through our eyelids? Blinking would be insane. Imagine fighting weeping angels. Don't blink. Psh, I wanna... Psh, whatever I do, what I want.
Alright, guys. That is it for the Fandom Fighters Podcast. What, episode 6?
Yeah.
I'm so tired, guys.
Thanks for watching, guys. You can find us on social media. I'm on Twitter at CWood Director.
I'm on Twitter at the Dude Frank Wack.
Dude is spelled D-O-O-D, and Wack is spelled W-A-K.
Yeah, what he said.
Yeah, what I said.
We're on Facebook at the Fandom Fighters Podcast.
Yeah.
I also have a Facebook at the Dude Frank Wack, spelled exactly the same way.
You're probably listening to this on my YouTube channel, but if you're not, it's CWood Director on YouTube.
I'm on YouTube at Frank Wack Productions.
Yeah. Thanks for checking out the Fandom Fighters Podcast. We also have a SoundCloud as well, so go check that out. And thanks for listening, guys. Yep. We'll see you next week.
Until then, we'll see you next week, and I'll see you guys in person at both Tokyo and Tulsa and GlitchCon.
And I will see you all in person at GlitchCon.
See you.